Bada bing, bada boo.
Weird things happen in Times Square, New York, especially on Saturday nights. But even by those standards, this is about to get very strange. A man walks into this popular building and he beelines it to the 9th floor. So it appears that he knows exactly where he's headed, exactly what he has to do. Security cameras show this man in a hoodie at 8:45 p.m. walking straight up to this other man in a tuxedo. I mean, I'm sure if you were to somehow get your hands on this footage, you could see that the figure in the tuxedo looks very familiar. It looks like Sean Diddy Combs. Diddy, the musician, the mogul. The hooded man walks straight up to whom everybody refers to as Diddy, and he just out of nowhere, unprompted, knocks him onto the ground.
Damn.
And for lack of a better word, because of the force, I guess, of how he knocked him over, Diddy's head pops off, becomes decapitated.
What?
The man then starts stomping on Diddy's decapitated head.
What?
Just stomping until his head is turned literally into a pulp.
Wait, how are they trying to arrest Diddy and he dead? He got no head? What they mean? What they mean?
He spits on the head before he books it out of there. He runs straight out of Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in Times.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I was about to say, he deserved that shit, but I didn't even hear about this. What? Bro, Rotten Mango just got me. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, what? Somebody stomping on his head. That's crazy.
After decapitating Diddy's wax figure. It's an unprompted, unprovoked, seemingly random, yet so premeditated attack. I mean, it can't be random, right? For someone to do this, they must have something against Diddy. They weren't going on a rampage just knocking over every wax statue. It's specifically Diddy.
Was that guy caught?
Yes. Diddy declined to comment on the incident, but now people are wondering, does it have anything to do with everything that's happening right now? Because 5 years after this incident, $60 million of Diddy's disappears.
How much? How much disappeared? If I'm Diddy, I'm scrambling, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. What do you mean? Bro, the amount of money that I've heard in the first 2 videos is crazy.
People are wondering, does it have anything to do with everything that's happening right now? Because 5 years after this incident, $60 million of Diddy's disappears. How does $60 million just vanish? I mean, if there's $60 million in cash, maybe it's a little bit more feasible, but the way that this $60 million is set up, it weighs 48,000 pounds. That's like the weight of 24 cars that just goes dark. It just goes missing. Or like 42 grizzly bears. How does it just disappear? That is exactly what happens in March 2024 to Diddy's $60 million Gulfstream G550 private jet.
Dang.
It's registered under Love Air LLC. It's called the Love Air, but it's a 20-seat matte black aircraft, and it just goes missing. Now, to be very technical, the plane hasn't vanished. It's not a mystery in that sense, but it does go dark. Technically, all planes can be tracked, even private planes, thanks to the ADS system. It's the automatic dependent surveillance broadcast system. It broadcasts every single plane's position, altitude, speed, and other information every 3 seconds. You get 3-second updates. It's mandated for all aircraft to improve safety and efficiency. Now, some websites have made a business of relaying all that data to the public. They've compiled it for the public to track different planes. It's very intriguing. You know, there's whole Twitter accounts dedicated to tracking famous people's planes, mostly to pressure them to stop flying back and forth in their private jets while we're all stuck sucking on paper straws. But
nah, I ain't even gonna lie, that's crazy. Why are you doing that with your life? You could be doing other things. I understand you trying to be the, vigilante, you know what I'm saying? Batman, but bro, you tracking famous people's planes? In your free time? Come on. Now, if something crazy happened, you probably feel like, ooh, this is what I've been waiting for. But come on, bro.
But sometimes people will track plain data because it tells you more than just what celebrities are doing. It can tell you what high profile business leaders are headed. And then you can kind of guesstimate where they're trying to invest, what next moves the company is going to make by tracking their movements. But on March 26th, 2024, a very famous man's plane goes dark. Sean Diddy Combs' private jet, a Gulfstream G550, goes dark. On FlightAware's website, if you look up Love Air, you get this message. This aircraft is not available for public tracking per request from the owner and operator.
So you can remove yourself.
Yes, it's not unusual for people, especially celebrities, to request flight tracking data to be blocked from the site. But a lot of times, if people really want to find you, they can find you.
That's what I'm about to say. If I'm a famous person and I could actually block the information, why wouldn't I just always tell them don't show the information? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not making sense to me. Am I tripping? Like, I would just tell them, like, I don't want my information to be tracked ever.
It was dark. On FlightAware's website, if you look up Love Air, you get this message. This aircraft is not available for public tracking per request from the owner and operator.
So you can remove yourself.
Yes, it's not unusual for people, especially celebrities, to request flight tracking data to be blocked from the site. But a lot of times, if people really want to find you, they can find you. Because it's not like you stop broadcasting your plane's location. You just request that these specific...
Are Diddy songs actually good? I haven't heard any of his songs. I haven't heard very many of his songs, but I think he was more famous not necessarily for his music. You know, obviously his music played a big part, but I think what like blew him up even more was his persona, obviously his parties, because you know what I'm saying, he was in the rooms with some crazy people. But I think it was more so like his aura. You know how some people just got aura? Like Donald Trump, he famous for, you know, being really rich, but also kind of his aura, you know?
Specific websites do not relay that information to the public.
Okay.
Now, people think the timing of it is very interesting because...
And I think he owned like a record label and stuff like that too.
The plane lands in the Caribbean island of Antigua and it goes dark online. Just a day after his homes in Miami and Los Angeles are raided by Homeland Security in an ongoing trafficking investigation. This is the case of a music mogul who is accused of trafficking. He is facing at least 11 different lawsuits from victims. Another...
Bro, 10 most disturbing Diddy moments because of what we now know, or because of what we know now. Goofy.
120 are suspected to file lawsuits against him. He is currently sitting in prison awaiting trial. There are rumors that the feds have taken 100 electronic devices where the rumor is he and his fellow friends in the industry, high-profile celebrities, have been caught engaging in potentially illegal activities.
Bruh.
This is part one of the Sean Diddy Combs case.
That's crazy. I got a question for everybody in the chat. In my opinion, I feel like mainstream media is kind of dying out, but I did hear that the TikTok ban is going to be in effect. I don't know if any of y'all use TikTok, but TikTok is a huge app. Over here in America especially. I feel like YouTube is worldwide. And I'm not too worried about TikTok being banned, but I know a lot of people make a lot of money on TikTok and stuff like that. I feel like if you are a content creator, you go find a place to post your content. But my question is, if TikTok get banned and most of the people consume, or not most of the people, I feel like most people still consume on YouTube. But if a lot of people consume a lot of content on TikTok, where do you think those people are going to go? And do you think that they banning it because like actual security reasons? Or do you think that they banning it for other reasons? Maybe money, maybe because what is it called? Dang, I can't think right now. Anyways, I just want to know y'all's opinion. What y'all think is going to happen because of this potential ban, you know?
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the Arizona Anti-Trafficking Network. They work constantly
Shout out Rotten
at
Mango and the sponsors.
RottenMangoPodcast.com.
I think they just hate that not an American app is getting bigger than other apps, I guess. I kind of see that. I feel like if it do actually get banned, because some people on TikTok saying it's not going to get banned, bro, the U.S. not playing, bro. Instagram, I feel like Instagram's algorithm is not the same, bro. Because I've scrolled through Reels, but it's not the same experience as scrolling through TikTok, in my opinion. I feel like this is my opinion. I feel like if it actually get banned, they gonna try to make their own app. You know what I'm saying? I think Reels is gonna try, but I think the US gonna try to make its own TikTok.
A big disclaimer to
TikTok
keep in mind throughout this entire
Yeah.
case is it's currently ongoing and developing as we speak.
I will say, YouTube Shorts is pretty good. It's just they came out after TikTok, so most people are already on TikTok.
There has been no court verdicts yet, so unfortunately I must legally state that these are all the current accusations and allegations. People are innocent until proven guilty, legally speaking. Some statements have been shortened for time, and all the theories and speculations mentioned are netizen opinions that can be found publicly online. All reporting for this episode is also taken from information that is online, so please do your own research, form your own opinions. I'm not here to convince you of anyone's guilt or innocence. Some potentially triggering themes involve heavy use of illicit substances, including date, R-word drugs, domestic violence, workplace and gang violence, SA, and trafficking. This case is also going to be heavy, so please do not hesitate to take a break and unplug. With all that being said, let's get started. Originally, I was hoping to do a two-parter on the Diddy case, but then it became a three-parter, and then there was 13 deaths loosely connected somehow to Diddy, so now it has become a four-part series. I've never been down a rabbit hole like this one before. There is no end in sight, and I'm sure with the trial in May of next year, there will be inevitably another part then. Just the amount of information, the amount of strange mystery surrounding Diddy's life, I don't think I've ever really touched a case like this before. I know a lot of people liken him to Epstein, which I can see why that comparison is drawn. But the key difference here is Diddy is a very famous man. Epstein, he also circulated amongst famous and wealthy people, but he primarily...
Do you usually go live during this time? It's my first time catching your live. I usually don't go live during this time, but I looked at my YouTube analytics and they were saying that this is the best time. Like, this is when most of my viewers are on YouTube, so I wanted to go live early and see how it go. But if a lot of y'all
rubbing
rock
shoulders
with
the wealthy elite that are
want to do these once a week.
Private. But Diddy and all of his friends, they're very famous. There's just so much weird information available online that in hindsight, it appears quite scary. This will be part one, where we do a deep dive on the lawsuit that started all of this. The hotel footage of him beating his then girlfriend, Cassie, as well as other girlfriends who have spoken out against him, as well as covering the freak-offs, and somehow we get into the Illuminati. Part two will be in-depth on the other lawsuits against him, as well as a lawsuit against his son.
I'm not gonna lie, waves are so fire. I don't have waves, because I just don't got the patience and I be working and stuff like that. But waves
Part
are
two
fire.
will be in-depth on the other lawsuits against him, as well as a lawsuit against his son. What happens at Diddy's yacht parties, and the very strange death of the mother of his children, Kim Porter, who died of pneumonia. And a very controversial book that claims to be her diary entries before her death. And that book seems to implicate Diddy as having a bigger hand in her death. Part three will be about the 13 people who have mysteriously died around Diddy. There's a very alarming pattern, not an implication of guilt, but a pattern of some strange, bizarre ways that he responds to people dying around him. And finally, part four will be the so-called Diddy's list, the internet allegations of all the celebrity.
Now, this list that I'm seeing on the screen do not look very professional, valid. This look like some shit somebody made on their own. They literally got a fucking Roku remote right here.
Friends who are rumored to somehow be involved in Diddy's trafficking charge. Also some other wild conspiracy theories that Diddy's not in prison. He's been cloned. There's tunnels under his house. The baby oil is laced, as well as the 100.
That's scary. How do you lace baby oil?
120 people that are working on suing him. And with that being said, let's get into it. They say the floors of the Trump National Doral Miami Hotel are impeccably clean, evidenced by footage of a man dressed in black inside the hotel that gets released. He's in this nearly empty area of the hotel, and he's pointing his gun behind him.
Oh shit!
And his wrist seems to be made out of jello while he's just shooting up in the air at the ground. He's sometimes shooting at the chandelier, sometimes at the ground itself. And the footage is interesting. He's just...
Why he running like that though? Like, I know he just slipped on baby oil and he probably hit his tailbone or something, but why he running like that?
At the chandelier, sometimes at the ground itself. And the footage is interesting. He's just recklessly shooting his gun. He's slipping on the freshly cleaned floors multiple times. He's wearing just socks on tiled floors. Then he gets up and then shoots around like his wrist is made out of jello and then starts running trips again. Honestly, if you told me this is movie footage of a man who is shooting at ghosts, I would potentially believe you. But it's not. It's real footage. It's real footage of a man screaming, "Come out, motherfuckers," while shooting at the ceiling and in the lounge areas.
Huh?
This man also grabs an American flag to drape over the front desk of the hotel. This is...
Once somebody get a hold to an American flag, you already know it's not about to go in a positive direction. I'm sorry. I feel like anytime somebody grab an American flag or hang it, like, and it's like I grew up in America. And I respect America because, like, it gives me a privilege that everybody don't have. But at the exact same time, it's like, bro, why do you have this big-ass American flag with a gun in your hand? This can't go in a good direction, ever. A gun and an American flag, you in all black.
This man also grabs an American flag to drape over the front desk of the hotel. This is during Trump's presidency. He goes behind the counter, starts breaking, smashing the computers. When the Miami-Dade police arrive, a shootout ensues, both sides are firing, and in the commotion, the gunman manages to flee. He is found later hiding near the elevators with gunshot wounds to his legs. 1 gunshot to the right ankle, 2 to the left leg. Interestingly enough, most of the shots fired by the man were into the floor and ceiling, and ultimately the only one shot, thankfully, was himself. The man, Jonathan Odie, is arrested. Before the police can even question his dangerous but honestly kind of bizarre crime, they have to take him to receive medical attention. The whole time that doctors are trying to save him from his own pain, he's screaming, "I'm not going to talk to none of y'all traitors. I need to talk with the FBI, Secret Service. Someone get me the CIA. I need the media on the line now. Look at me. I'm an intelligence officer and there will be no president in 2 days. There's going to be nuclear weapons. The police will no longer exist."
Thank you for the sub.
Which I would say is one of the last things you would want to say after the crime he committed. But even more so, when the police figure out that he is in fact not a CIA operative, he's a stalker for a website called dancingbears.com.
What? Like, this is so shocking because, number one, of what this man did. But number two, not even the fact that he an ex-worker, but for what website? Again? Come again?
CIA operative. He's a stalker for a website called dancingbears.com. It's an
Lord have mercy.
X-rated website where male dancers put on big bear masks and have intimate relations with women. But he continues rambling about, quote, "Obama is Osama. Trump makes his money on gas. Kill all the police in the street. Useless, good for nothing, nada. All of you. Laws are corrupt. Police death has come to you. You be judged. Die for now and for hell and for all of eternity. People in the streets are going to shoot you. Get heart attacks. You're all dead. I'm going to let them know to put a bullet in your head. My dog, Bubbles?
Bubbles?
You got to let him out of the apartment, Bubbles. If he does not eat, he will die." He then
That's the first same thing this nigga said.
to pass the officers his house and car keys. "Don't hurt my dog, Bubbles."
You don't have
Found in the United States?
Yeah.
Just my dog, Bubbles.
He continues on his rambles. I have a settlement with the former president of the United States, Obama. I have a settlement with the current president of the United States, Donald Trump. And I have one with P. Diddy.
Huh?
Excuse me?
That's what I'm saying.
After the hospital, Jonathan Odie is brought into an interrogation room. Here's what I want you guys to know. Diddy and Ross, which they're good buddies, okay? And they're gay.
Ross?
Rick Ross. The police are
Oh
confused.
shit! Huh?
Who is?
Diddy and Ross and Khaled. They're all gay.
DJ
Huh?
Khaled, Rick.
Why do they got these cookie cutter ass beards now that I'm looking at these goofy ass niggas? Do y'all see this? Why it look like they manufactured their beards?
And Khaled. They're all gay.
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross,
Yeah.
and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know the Illuminati
Diddy's
group
beard
that I was
actually
telling you
looked normal.
about? He puts his hands up in a triangle shape. The Illuminated group, you know, the Illuminati, which is an elite group, okay? Individuals which run the whole country, all right? What I did this for was to basically transmit a statement to the American people because they want the United States
I couldn't
to fall.
imagine
They've been
myself with a beard
creating
either.
chaos and confusion in the United States. They want the United States to fall. You have the Illuminati, basically, which means illuminate. They do satanic ritual abuse, which is basically CIA mind programming techniques to their own family and kids, and they bond that way. They do.
Do y'all believe in like the Illuminati and like selling your soul and you know what I'm saying? Like all of that other stuff that they be talking about. Do y'all believe in that stuff? Or do you think that's just made up? I always kind of flip between the two. Like the satanic rituals. I do feel like satanic rituals happen, but I don't know if it's tied to the Illuminati and all of that stuff. But I don't know. I feel like it's possible. That's all I'll say. I don't know if it's true or not because I'm not in those circles, but I feel like it's definitely possible. Like if it came out that it was a thing, I wouldn't be like, oh shoot, I'm surprised. Yeah, people be getting into crazy stuff. Somewhat. Yeah, it seemed like y'all kind of got the same.
Animal abuse, killing of animals, blood sacrifices, and everything in the Bohemian Grove. You know,
Bohemian
where the
Grove?
bushes go.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Sean Combs.
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself
Yeah.
these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule
Boule.
is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay? I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist.
Okay.
Okay, you my brother, so I like black people.
Okay.
My mom was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay.
Huh?
And the police are like, okay.
Bro, I don't know why, as a black person, I feel like it's so funny when, like, other people of, like, color, because I feel like, I don't know if people don't realize this, but white is a color. Other people of color, I be saying stuff like that, and, like, I don't say it to white people, because, like, I don't know, I feel like colors just, people just be making labels out of everything. But I feel like it'd be so funny whenever, like, white people like try to prove they like racist innocence. Like like I never be like, okay, I understand. Like it just be like it feels so awkward in the air. Like it just like energy just feel awkward. Like you know?
Right,
know, but
right,
Illuminati
okay.
just sounds crazy
So I
to me.
have this
Yeah.
settlement with Sean, and he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land over contracts. Okay. He leans in, he puts his arms on the table.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean.
Huh?
Basically, he would tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Because when they would do it, Sean talks a lot on the phone. And on the
Crazy,
TV,
but
we
I think he's crazy, but I think there's some truth to what he's saying.
speakers and
Me
stuff,
too.
and I'll be in there. I was like a slave. Yeah, for them. That's what I was. He leans back. So I caught herpes. He goes
Huh?
on.
What is going on?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
it
trying to
just
find out.
seems like the ramblings of someone who is a little unhinged. He leans back and he goes on to explain that Diddy's 2 attorneys asked him to turn in a video recording. Those 2 attorneys are also involved in Michael Jackson's death and the Illuminati. It's unclear, but it seems like he's stating a video was recorded of this supposed encounter and he turns it in,
We only
but he
on
also
video
states they gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible that I threw everything out, but it's also possible that I could produce a copy. I'm not sure.
Huh?
Now, how does that lead up to him going into the Trump hotel with a gun?
My settlement put me in a box. Basically, I couldn't talk because otherwise I'll be sued. So I let it be, but they've been following me, and they've had Mark Garrett has had the FBI on me has had other agencies looking at me and spying on me, okay, because they want to set me up as an extortionist. Like if I was extorting Sean for money. It's wrong.
Basically what happened is the Ciroc agenda, the Ciroc vodka agenda, is to promote binge drinking and drugs. The hip-hop agenda, that's why they had Tupac killed. Because when they killed him, they gained pain. That's when the record sales go up. That's how you become famous. That's how you do it, all right? Tupac is still alive. He's in Cuba. Basically what happens is...
I seen a clip of Tupac, the person who they claim to be Tupac, and it actually looked pretty similar, I'm not gonna lie.
It was in the hip-hop agenda.
What?
He alleges, in more simplified terms, they move drugs all over the United States. They move drugs in private jets that don't get screened within the United States domestically. They move all that dope in the private jets. They move what's called high-grade powder MDMA. They move cocaine. They move liquid cocaine in their bottles, too.
Damn.
I've seen the liquid cocaine, I've drank it myself. Having sex with Diddy and Cassie. Okay.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. This is scary because, like, if I was him, I would have got too scared to even do anything that he said he done partake in, and all of the stuff that he's talking about. I would be too scared to even be involved.
It's not good. He drinks it all the time. Alright, he calls it G-Juice, but it's liquid cocaine.
Alright.
Many state it sounds like an
I didn't even know it was a such thing as liquid cocaine.
interrogation that one would watch to study for psychology class. And to be frank, there's many parts of the interrogation that sounds like the unhinged ramblings of someone who has lost touch with reality and has gotten swept up in every internet conspiracy possible. Perhaps he created a whole fantasy of two high-profile A-list celebrities, and in his mind, he truly knows them. He's met them. He's had these encounters with them, but it's all a fantasy, right? It doesn't change the fact that he committed this crazy crime, and it does appear that most of what he's saying are full-blown conspiracies, we hope. But the question is,
We hope.
what if there's even a little bit of truth to what he's saying? Because 4 years later, the Department of Homeland Security conduct a multi-state raid on Diddy's LA mansion and his Miami mansion. Diddy's LA home is
Yeah, I seen it on TikTok and the guy looks just like him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
described as, quote, an immersive experience.
I just hope he's
It's
good.
on the same street as the Playboy mansion as well as Kylie
That's a nice
Jenner's
ass
home.
house.
Yeah. One reporter says, within moments of entering his home, a member of the staff will walk up offering you a drink, likely De Leon tequila infused, Diddy's tequila brand. Well, former tequila brand. There's a personal chef on duty, but they don't just start shoving food down your throat. They don't even ask you, are you hungry? Instead, they wait. They watch you without making you feel watched. They just wait for you and your body to send signals that you're feeling for a little snack.
Huh?
One recent Vanity Fair piece on Diddy says, the hospitality is both overt and inconspicuous. You will enjoy yourself here, or someone will die trying.
What does that mean?
I
It
don't
seems to
know.
insinuate that someone will die trying to make you enjoy yourself.
By doing...
All these things, over the top. There's so much staff trying to make sure you're having a good time. It's overt, but it's also inconspicuous. The staff are wearing
Hey Vex, I just saw the reaction you did to the lady who killed her mom on your second channel. Stephanie So actually did a video on the serial killer who killed her sister. Mentioned in the video. I gotta find that. If you could send that to me on Discord or in the Instagram, please feel free to send it to me. Cause I might not be able to. I might have to go back into the chat and find it.
everyday clothes. They're not dressed up in wait staff attire. It's fascinating. They have this relaxed attitude, but they can tell that they're not relaxed. They're high alert. But when you see them walking down the stairs, it looks like they have nowhere to be. But you can just tell shit gets done in this house.
Huh.
Nah, this house sounds too serious.
We're talking about Epstein's house.
Yes.
There was like so many staffs, right?
Yes.
And they're all so dressed up and just standing around. So you're saying Diddy's people are always around, but they look like they're not like uptight,
They look like they're family
Nah,
friends.
hell
but
no,
they are
bro.
actually
Yes.
very uptight.
They're like
Hell
lounging on the
no,
couch,
bro.
but they're probably surveying you and trying to see what you need next.
Hell no. I'm used to going into the crib and somebody's grandma or auntie be like, are you hungry? Don't sit there and try to stop me and no, bro. If you a chef, ask me if I'm hungry. Cause if I smell food, I'm gonna want to eat. Simple. That's all it takes.
Because the minute that you're half done with a glass of water, you've got now a wine glass in your hand. It just gets so seamlessly replaced.
Which takes even more effort.
More effort, more skill. It's very interesting. Now, in hindsight, that's a very grim description of his home. Someone's gonna die trying. You will enjoy yourself here. If the staff don't make people feel out of place or slightly uncomfortable or watched, the grandness of the house is going to accomplish that. The house is one of the pricier residential homes in Southern California. It's actually on the market right now if you're interested for $61 million.
61?
It looks more like a resort than a residential home. It's a modern
So you telling me, I know this is episode 1, but earlier we accidentally checked out episode 2. Bro, they got a yacht that's $117 million and it's more expensive than this? This home? Crazy fucking work.
colonial style home. It's all white. It looks like the White House on steroids with beautiful French doors, beautiful iron balconies on the second floor. It's got this massive swimming pool.
I ain't gonna lie, this bit do look nice. Do you see that pool? That pool look beautiful. This is a nice looking. I feel like this would be too big though. Like you see a house this big, it's like, what am I gonna do with this? What am I gonna do with all of this? And then look at this big ass statue. Red flag number 1. But bro, this is like, I need a huge family to stay in something like this. I never understood having a huge mansion like this, and like, you can't stay on your own if you're in a big ass mansion like this. Like, this is just absurd. Like, there's no point at all.
Basketball court, a separate 2-story guest house, state-of-the-art movie theater that seats 35 guests, a resort-like swimming pool with a waterfall, a spa house, gym, recording studio. There's this giant metal statue in the back. It looks like one of those metal statues.
Yeah, this was the first red flag right here. I don't know, like, it's like you gotta be one of them nutcases who be like, this is odd.
And if you were to slice it back and forth, it's like rings.
What do you mean this is
And
too much?
it's the
This is
headless
odd.
torso of Kim Porter.
What?
It's said often that he speaks to her giant metal bust. It was his tribute to his now gone Kim Porter, which we will talk about in episode 2. It's a massive 10-bedroom, 13-bathroom estate, 17,000.
10 bedrooms? That's just too much. What am I gonna do with 10 fucking bedrooms? It's not like I can't even have, like, I could have a whole family reunion and it'll still be too big of a house.
Square foot home, but in March 2024, tanks are driving up to that house.
Tanks?
A swarm of fully decked out in tactical gear officials.
My nigga, what did y'all think Diddy had in the crib? A military? Am I tripping? Now I know that he done some egregious things. But tanks, my nigga? What did y'all think that nigga had in the crib? Bazookas?
Officials start clearing through that house. They've got guns pointed in every direction. They're sending in drones to check rooms. Diddy's 2 sons.
Drones into rooms is crazy as hell. Am I tripping? Or did that feel like a little too much? Like, you know how, like, you see somebody getting arrested and it's like, why y'all got 4 to 5 cop cars for one person you arrested? This feels like that. Why do you need tanks? Like, y'all performing a full military operation in this nigga's crib. Like, Jesus Christ. This is a lot. But I guess you can't be too cautious. That's crazy as hell.
It was his tribute to his now gone Kim Porter, which we will talk about in episode 2. It's a massive 10-bedroom.
He couldn't have pulled out one gun. They would have shot that nigga down quick. They would have made sure they ended that boy.
13-bathroom estate, 17,000 square foot home. But in March 2024, tanks are driving up to that house. A swarm of fully decked out in tactical gear officials start clearing through that house. They've got guns pointed in every direction. They're sending in drones to check rooms. Diddy's two sons, 30-year-old Justin and 25-year-old Christian, are forced up against the wall, handcuffed with guns pointed at them. They're dragged out of the house while the rest of the team tear through that place, which is interesting because what exactly are these Homeland Security officials looking for? It's said by the time that they left, there were just cables dangling around, like they unplugged some security cameras, multiple safes that were left wide open, almost 100 electronics confiscated. At the same time,
How did he have 100 electronics in that bitch?
left wide open, almost 100 electronics
And how do TMZ get a hold to everything? Who's giving TMZ this footage?
confiscated. At the same time, his massive $40 million compound in Miami was also raided by Homeland Security.
So he got a $40 million compound and a $61 million crib? Bro, people just be spending money just to spend it, bro. I swear if I had millions and millions of dollars, I would get me a very modest crib, maybe one upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Not even too many rooms. Most of my money might go to food, for real, for real.
At the same time,
Whoa.
coordinated. It's a pretty crazy visual to see Homeland Security just rolling up in tanks, camo, full gear, raiding a mansion in a neighborhood where you've got the hedge fund billionaire, Citadel founder Ken Griffin just down the block.
I don't know
Where
him.
Philip Frost, a pharmaceutical billionaire, owns a large piece of land.
I don't know
There's
him
only like
either.
50 houses on this little island that he
Island? The fuck? Nah, they too rich. Nigga, you live on an island with billionaires? Yeah, this a red flag in itself too.
lives in Miami. It's called Star Island. It's like a billionaire island. Interestingly enough, Alex Rodriguez and his then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, who also happens to be Diddy's ex-girlfriend, owned a house on the same island.
40 million Miami home, 60 million LA home.
That's what
both
I'm
getting raided
saying.
At the same time.
By Homeland Security.
And where is Diddy?
Diddy, he's at an airport in Miami.
Oh,
There's-
so he wasn't there.
No, there's actually
Oh,
footage
he
of
ran
him.
away.
So that's what people thought because his plane went dark, but he didn't actually run away. It said that he
Neighborhood be
was
sketchy.
searched at the Miami airport. It's like
bet.
a private small airport in Miami. There's actually someone who took a video of him pacing around because I'm sure he's getting all the news that his homes are getting raided. He just got spoken to by Homeland Security. And someone says ominously while they're recording Diddy, you're probably wondering what's going to happen next, Diddy.
I guess you wonder what's going to happen next, Diddy. And
It's very unsettling. The whole thing is unsettling.
Yeah.
In a
I bet.
statement, Homeland
Imagine imagine you find out the military at your crib. That's crazy.
Security states because when your house gets raided by Homeland Security, that is very odd.
Yeah.
Homeland Security is the department that is responsible for trafficking investigations. Because you hear the FBI, you hear people
Do they have lots of work to do often?
investigations. Because
That's my-
you hear the
that's my
FBI, you hear
question.
people getting swatted.
Yeah.
Homeland Security is a bit bizarre.
Yeah, are they more intense than FBI? I wonder.
Some people think they are, but definitely some of the crimes that they investigate are pretty intense. Like you're talking very organized crime charges. In a statement, Homeland Security states, earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from Homeland Security Los Angeles, Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. We will provide further information as it becomes available.
Okay.
The further information would shock many netizens. The feds would reveal that they are investigating Diddy for trafficking charges and that they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant along with narcotics in Diddy.
Nah, nigga. I ain't gonna lie, I remember when I heard about this. 1,000 bottles of baby oil is fucking horrendous, nigga. Are you kidding me, nigga? There's no reason you should. Did you get a deal on the baby oil? Maybe, like, let's be honest. It's crazy to have 1,000 bottles of baby oil, but maybe he knew that I can't even justify this shit for this nigga. I was about to say, maybe maybe he got a bulk deal. You know, whenever you buy stuff in bulk, you get a huge discount. Maybe he got a bulk deal, but what was you planning for? Dang! I'm sitting here thinking, maybe he could have like a Wet and Wild bikini party or something. But it's like, bro, 1,000? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy work.
Diddy's mansion. 1,000 bottles of baby oil is about $10,000, which is nothing for Diddy. But still, what on earth is he doing with
Oily
1,000
party.
bottles of baby oil? That is enough to fill a 100-gallon fish tank.
Bro, do you know how long it takes to get through one bottle of baby? Do you know how long it takes to get through one single bottle of baby oil? Even just little bitty bitches. I know he ain't have little bitty bitches of the baby oil. He had the full big bitty bottles.
You could use the baby oil to paint the surface, the outside of the White House.
Huh?
One time, and then another half. You know those giant water
How
cooler
do you know
jugs
that?
in those corporate offices, and you connect it to the machine, and
Yep.
it like that's about 83 of those jugs of baby
Jesus
oil.
Christ.
I also think it's bizarre that they disclosed that out of
Yes.
everything. I'm sure there's a lot of incriminating evidence they found.
If I'm Diddy, I'm hitting them niggas with a defamation lawsuit. Why did y'all tell them that out of everything? Y'all confiscated the crazy sex tapes, all of the extra stuff, and you told them about the $1,000, the $10,000 worth of baby oil that I got? Nigga, that was personal.
But they were saying, here's 1,000 baby oils. Do what you will with that information.
So some people think that it was included in the indictment to indicate this amount of baby oil must have links to trafficking. You don't just do this as someone who loves to have intimate relations with even multiple women and men, who cares, right? But this gives some sort of organized brothel vibes. Or some people think that it was included in the indictment along with the narcotics because there is suspicion that the baby oil has been laced with something.
That's scary.
Wouldn't they disclose that already?
We don't know because they don't
How
have
do
to
you lace
disclose
baby
any of that.
oil?
I see.
Now, but more alarming is that they find 9 AR-15 style
Damn!
weapons, 6 with the serial numbers intact, but 3 of them, the serial numbers are scratched off, which is very scary.
shit.
Now, many believe that this raid was kicked off by Cassie Ventura's lawsuit against her ex-boyfriend Diddy.
Wait, hold up. How many ARs? Jesus Christ. That's why they went in there with the military?
With the serial numbers intact, AR-15
Hold up.
that.
I need to hear that.
Now, but more alarming is that they find 9 AR-15 style weapons.
Dang, that's a lot.
6 with the serial numbers intact, but 3 of them, the serial numbers are scratched off, which is very scary. Now, many believe that this raid was kicked off by Cassie Ventura's lawsuit against her ex-boyfriend Diddy. His homes are raided in March of 2024. Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, files her lawsuit November 2023. But everyone thinks, no. The lawsuit actually starts back in 2022. I know it's very confusing. Bear with me here. 2022, Cassie and Diddy have already been broken up for 4 years now. In fact, Cassie is married to another man. She's a mom with 2 beautiful children, but Diddy is winning the BET Lifetime Achievement Award. His rumored girlfriend, Young Miami of City Girls, is in the crowd holding up a sign supporting him. But in his winning speech, instead of thanking Young Miami, he says, "Anything I do is through love. That's what I evolved to be. That's what I'm doing right now. I was in a dark place for a few years, and I gotta give a special thank you to the people that was really there for me." He lists a few people, and then there's this odd moment where he looks directly into the camera and says, "Cassie, for holding me down in dark times. Love."
Yeah, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
Bro, I don't know what it is. It's not even just the music, but it's like the demeanor. You know how like sometimes you could look at people's demeanor and their energy and you could tell like it's just off? Like to some people in this moment, because they didn't know who Diddy was or what was going on, this looked like serious. But when we looking at this and we kind of know some of the context, this is giving like odd. Am I tripping? Like this is too serious. Like why are you so serious? Like I know you just got an award, but this is like You wearing this all on your face, bro. Nah, this crazy.
For holding me down in dark times. Love.
Yeah, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
Wait, he broke up already? What year
4
was
years
that?
ago. They broke up in 2018. This is in 2022.
That is crazy.
She's married. She's moved on. It's not like they're still on and off. He's dating Young Miami. He's dated like a string of other women allegedly after this. And he's publicly in this weird relationship with Young Miami where it's like kind of unclear if they're dating or not. It's a little bit unclear, but she's there, right there.
Yeah.
Cassie's not even there.
Yeah.
This is
And the crazy thing is, if Diddy get dragged down, do Young Miami get dragged into this? Do his kid? Like, because it's like all of these people here around, somebody got to know something. It can't just be Diddy the only one take the fall. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he got this whole scheme going on, it's the same thing with the Epstein Island stuff. Bro, so insecure he had to ruin his life. Like, it's the same thing with the Epstein Island stuff. It's no way Epstein the only one who could go down for this. And he got all of this stuff going on. Like, it's got to be people who getting dragged along with them. And the crazy thing is, whenever it comes to these big name people, like these huge celebrities like Diddy or Epstein, it's like, how come they don't do no RICO? You know what I'm saying? In rap, RICOs are so normal. Whenever we think of Lil Durk and all of the cases where they doing RICO charges, they trying to pull everybody down, a whole organization. They just had Young Thug and stuff like that. They had Gunna. Like, it's like, whenever it comes to these fantasies, why they only get the one person and not all of the people who was involved? You know? That's what I be wondering.
Is it like kind of like a threat almost?
That's what it feels like. At the time, nobody thought it was. They just thought it was kind of disrespectful to Young Miami. But maybe he was still pining for Cassie because they did date for like 10 years. Maybe he wants her back and she's the one that got away. But now in hindsight, it feels like a threat. Because just 18 months later, Cassie will file a lawsuit against Diddy. The 19-year-old Cassie gets presented with this very simple 10-album deal with Diddy's record label, Bad Boy Records.
That's not a good deal. I'm not gonna lie. That's not a good deal. Did y'all hear that? 10-album record deal? Nigga, how much money can they even offer you for 10 albums? 10 albums is a lot of albums. Think about that. 10 whole albums? Nigga, I want y'all, because a lot of y'all listen to K-pop, I want y'all to think of y'all favorite K-pop group. Think about how many albums they dropped this year. Now think about 10 of them bitches. How many albums can you possibly drop in a year? 10 albums? That's a lot of albums. I ain't gonna lie. It's like, I ain't gonna lie, it's not very much, like, it's not enough money in the world for them to do me a 10 album deal. They gotta do me like 2, 3, maybe 4 album deal or something like that. 10 albums? Crazy work.
Simple 10-album deal with Diddy's record label, Bad Boy Records. So far, Cassie just has a few songs that by chance happen to be playing at a club.
When was this?
This is back in 2006. This is when they first meet. Her songs were playing at a club that Diddy was at, and he's intrigued. I mean, her voice, it's nice. She's going viral on MySpace at the time.
Oh, y'all don't know about MySpace? What y'all know about MySpace? Y'all don't know about MySpace. Y'all too young for that.
And 37-year-old Diddy ends up signing 19-year-old Cassie to his label. She releases an album under Bad Boy Records. It debuts number 4 on the Billboard 200 in the US, which is a big freaking deal, especially when you factor in this is her first debut album. It seems like Cassie herself is not even ready for this level of commercial success. She was just going around promoting her album, doing these different press interviews, press tours. She would perform her songs live, but because she's so nervous and she's never done this before, she would freak out. Her performance would be considered not her best, and the media was just ripping into her. This is her first taste of fame, really. Side note, this is the same girl who said one of her first performances, she was doing everyone's hair and makeup. The dancers, the performers. So she's passionate. She's clearly talented. She's just not used to this level of fame that comes with signing with Bad Boy Records.
Yeah.
Some critics start questioning her vocal ability, suggesting that her studio recordings are just heavily edited and she can't even manage to replicate the same sound live. Others use this as a way to be like, see, she's not that talented. She's just an industry plant. She's signed by Bad Boy Records because she's pretty. So she's signed with Diddy. She's dating a producer by the name of Ryan Leslie. She's not actually skilled.
Bro, the only industry plant that I actually believe is an industry plant so far in my whole life is the Hawk Tuah girl. I think she actually was an industry plant. I don't know why.
The negative press at the time was a lot. She's 19 years old.
Or the girl Bobby Altoff who was doing the funny interviews. I don't know what happened with her, but like where she went.
Her frontal lobe has not even fully developed, but everybody is treating her like she personally insulted their mothers. She's probably thinking my entire career is over at this point. But Diddy, the owner of her record label, comes in and he starts defending his artist. He tells MTV News, you could hear the nervousness in her voice. And to be honest, I kind of smiled at that because it made me appreciate what I really love about her. She's just a regular person. It just made me appreciate that she got nervous. It's kind of cute to me, to be honest. You've got to understand that success for her is coming out of nowhere. It's just huge and people deal with that differently.
Dang, I ain't gonna lie, he was low-key cooking. It was weird, because now we know what's going on. But what I heard from him was he was creating a perspective. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand, especially in social media. The perspective is everything. The story. If you could give people a story and a perspective and they could get attached to that, oh, she's just a normal girl, she nervous as hell, like, that's cute. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else, they famous, but she normal, she cute. Like, you know what I'm saying? People kind of I can see how people would attach to that. You know what? He right. Let's rock behind her because she a normal girl and she nervous, you know? And then, especially if she play into that, that's only gonna add fuel to the fire. She get up there on stage, sorry about last time, I was a little bit nervous. All of this fame is coming really, really fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see where you're coming from, but buddy, you're a weirdo.
A lot of people shut up after that, and they respected Diddy a lot for coming to his artist's defense, which is probably why Cassie felt comfortable and excited to perform at the MTV Europe Music Awards in Denmark later that year with Diddy. She flies all the way to Europe with Diddy, and during hair and makeup leading up to this performance, she's sitting in the makeup chair and her makeup artist is fixing her face, staring at her in the mirror, and just states, Diddy's interested in you.
Huh?
Wait, she's dating someone though, right?
Yeah, and Diddy's dating Kim Porter, okay? So this is very crazy, you know? Cassie thought the whole thing was just gossip, and honestly kind of gross. He's so old, he's practically double her age. I mean, there's just no way. He's in a very public relationship with his longtime on and off girlfriend, the mother of his children, Kim Porter. Besides, she's publicly dating a producer by the name of Ryan Leslie, and he knows that. He's friends with Ryan Leslie. But from what everybody has said about Diddy, if he wants something or someone, there's really no way of saying no.
What you mean? How is this a rumor at that time and he got a wife with kids? Bro, some people just like crazy. Some people disgusting, bro. Damn.
And he knows that. He's friends with Ryan Leslie. But from what everybody has said about Diddy, if he wants something or someone, there's really no way of saying no. The two enter into a very public relationship, and for the most part, they fit this very glamorous, jealousy-inducing public image. The music mogul leaves the mother of his child. It's not explicit that it's due to Cassie. It seems like he's never really been a loyal person. Even with Kim Porter, he was cheating on her with multiple other people. He had children with other women while he was dating Kim Porter. It's a lot. We're going to get into it in episode 2. But he ends up publicly dating Cassie, and everyone thought the music mogul, the beautiful, talented girlfriend, they look good together.
Bro, 2024, I could not see nobody getting away with something like this. What you mean he was like messing with somebody else while he had a kid? Like, bro, what are we talking? I can't even put my thoughts together, bro. So he was having kids with Kim Porter. And at the same time, he was having kids with other people? Bro, is this the 60s, my nigga? Would you date someone younger? Yeah, but not too younger. I'm 24. I think the lowest I would go is 21.
But behind closed doors, there were just some red flags in their relationship.
Gotta be able
For
to go out
example,
for
while
drinks.
he's publicly dating Cassie, he posts a tribute to one of the mothers of his children. So he's got 3 mothers of his children. Well, now 4. But he captions it, Chance, their daughter's name. Chance and I are so grateful to have you in our lives. Love. Which is totally
Why is he
fine.
saying love?
But the picture he posts of the mother of his child is her in a bikini on the beach. Again, the picture is fine. I'm not mom shaming her. She looks incredible. But surely he had more appropriate pictures to post considering he's dating Cassie. It's her birthday. It's just, it's weird. He also allegedly had drugs and pills out in the open like candy. So those were a few red flags for Cassie. But again, maybe that's just what happens when you're dating a billionaire in the industry. They're eccentric.
No, it don't. No, it don't. Mm-mm. Soon as I see pills, soon as I see anything like that, it's raps, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? What you mean? Maybe that's just what happened. No, it ain't. Not with me around.
But sometimes he would do
What you
really
mean?
strange, really questionable things. For example, according to a lawsuit, Cassie told Diddy that she calls her beloved grandfather Pop Pop. Immediately after that, Diddy insisted that Cassie call him Pop Pop. But they're dating with this huge age gap. It feels a little perverse. But more alarming than that is they were constantly breaking up, getting back together. And while they're on a bit of a break, Cassie alleges that she had a brief relationship with another musician by the name of Kid Cudi.
I heard that he blew his
Diddy
car up.
found emails between Cassie and Kid Cudi. He was not happy. He tells Cassie, I'm going to blow up Kid Cudi's car. Which, I mean, no excuses for that, but it sounds like it's just someone's intense anger and jealousy speaking, right? I mean, it's Diddy. It's P. Diddy. Really? He's going to blow up another A-list musician's car? That's ridiculous. January 9th, 2012, Kid Cudi's car blows up in his driveway. His Porsche goes up in flames at 11 a.m. in the morning.
This is not funny, but it's just funny because she said this sounded like a threat. Like, it sounded like something that nobody would do. Like, why would somebody just blow somebody's car up because they heard that they was messing with somebody else? January 9th. Why is that funny? January 9th. His car ended up blowing up. Connection? Maybe.
January 9th, 2012, Kid Cudi's car blows up in his driveway.
What?
His Porsche goes up in flames at 11 a.m. in the morning. The report lists the cause of fire as intentional, aka arson.
Oh my God, it's 11:30 right now. I still see the smoke.
A.m. in the morning. The report lists the cause of fire as intentional, aka arson, but the police don't
that nigga stood
know
on
who did
business,
this.
Wilson.
The police were never able to even figure out exactly who did it, but there were whispers that Diddy was going around stating that he ordered someone, allegedly, to slice open the car's convertible top, it's a Porsche convertible, and drop a Molotov cocktail inside to have the
What?
car blow up.
That nigga using Call of Duty like weapons in this motherfucker. What do you mean? A Molotov? Bro, nah, he's a menace.
And drop a Molotov cocktail inside to have the car blow up. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Nigga, did you just, Rod Mango, did you just hear how specific that shit sounded?
There were always whispers about Diddy if you're in the industry. You know why they call him Puff? Or at least why they did call him Puff.
Why
don't
do
you?
they call him Puff?
There was a brief rumor that he got it in high school. He was on the football team, but because he was a bit skinny of a kid, he had this
All right, Milk Bread, thank you for coming through.
habit of puffing up his chest to look more
I hope you have a good night, by the way. What's a good time for me to go live? I know you in the Philippines, I enjoy. And like, what type of content do you like to watch?
intense. But most people say that's not
Love you
actually
too,
why
by
they
the way.
call him Puff.
That would be so
or Puffy.
so goofy.
Yeah.
That's why he's called Puff Daddy.
Wait, I missed why they called him Puff Daddy. Why do they call him Daddy, though? That's great.
In high school, he was on the football team, but because he was a bit skinny of a kid, he had this habit of puffing up his chest to look more intense.
The
But
weapon
most
choice
people
is
say
crazy.
that's not
what
actually
I'm
why
saying.
they call him Puff.
That would be so
or Puffy.
so goofy.
Yeah.
That's why he's called Puff Daddy.
They say it's a childhood name because he was
Okay.
always, I feel like the real reason is goofier.
Okay.
Because he was always angry. So he would walk around huffing and puffing. So
No.
they called him Puffy.
No.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. In the black community, they do stuff like that. Like, when I was growing up, my pops for a certain amount of time. He used to work at the Coca-Cola factory, and which is crazy because that lets you know like how times really changed. I never really hear people working at factories no more, but he used to work at the Coca-Cola factory. In today's time, working at the Amazon warehouse is low-key like working at a factory. But anyways, he used to work at the Coca-Cola factory, and he used to bring home Coke all of the time. Like Coca-Cola, not cocaine, for anybody who was wondering. And I used to always say, can I get some Coca-Cola? So they used to call me Coda Man. Coda Man.
Away.
Puffy or Puff. Puffy, Puff.
That's believable.
Then it's Puff Daddy. Then it's P. Diddy. Then it's Diddy. And now it's Brother Love.
Brother Love, nah.
He even admitted in an interview once, I had a temper. That's why my friends started calling me Puffy. One industry source says they were at a party at Diddy's house and they left early because the whole party just felt uncomfortable.
Everybody say that they leave the P. Diddy parties early. Who's staying late? How is nobody staying late? How is everybody leaving the P. Diddy parties early? That's what I want to know.
They just sat there watching Diddy yell at Cassie all night for honestly nothing. They later said, you could see it in Cassie's eyes that she's scared. And I'm like, is this normal? Am I tripping right now? Why is nobody saying anything? Are they all scared of him? Why is he screaming at her?
Who said this?
An industry source, anonymous. So there's always whispers that Diddy is not normal in the industry.
Lord.
Danielle, who wrote a piece for the New York Times, she's a journalist. She said that she was at a party. This is back in 2015, which, by the way, she has a piece on New York Times. It's incredible. She's an amazing writer. This was back in 2015. She's at a party, one of those fancy ones, where they have the little tuna bites in those singular spoons and the wait staff walk around.
Dang.
Cassie.
I ain't never seen no tuna bites, but the tuna bites look kind of good. What's y'all's favorite, like, party food? I feel like because I'm poor, I ain't never had no tuna bites. But my favorite, like, party food gotta be deviled eggs. I love me a good deviled egg. It just hit different.
Where they have the little tuna bites in those singular spoons and the wait staff.
What the hell is that over there with the little circular tomato on the top? What's that? These look, I ain't gonna lie, these party snacks look real good. Brokey, that's how this got me feeling.
Cassie, who's normally always surrounded by Diddy's entourage, is walking around alone, which is very rare. She's wearing stilettos in the grass, but she's stunning. She's so graceful. The way it's like she's barefoot. But even more so when she walks over to Danielle, gracefully squats down to be eye level, and says, how are you? Fine, how are you? How are you doing it? Doing what? Like, how are you managing? Danielle describes feeling like Cassie could almost see through her. It's like she felt that it's very likely a mutual friend had told Cassie that someone that they all knew in the industry had essayed Danielle.
Huh?
This was a decade earlier, the incident, but...
If any women out there have dealt with, like, SA, I just want to say that I apologize for you having to go through that, because you didn't deserve that. That's just something that I wanted to say. I think I've dealt with SA, but I didn't really realize it until later on. To the point to where, like, I feel like guys kind of be in denial, you know? But it's one of those things that I just kind of want to shed light on, because I feel like it's one of those things that people do try to forget about or throw under the rug, or, you know? But I want you to know that you didn't deserve that. I don't want anybody to ever feel like maybe it was you. No, it wasn't you. It was the other person being a shitty person, you know? Like, you didn't deserve that. They shouldn't have took advantage of you or even tried to do that. They should have treated you like a normal human being. So I just want to, you know.
Danielle couldn't confirm that, so she just felt anxious. It felt like Cassie was asking her, how are you doing it? Staying in the industry, going through all of this. So Danielle collected herself and tried to play it off like, girl, what? I'm fine. What are you talking about? It was this moment where both of them, she said both of them wanted to say something, but neither of them could find the words. Eventually, Cassie rose up gracefully, waved goodbye, and walked off. Another close to the couple friend by proximity, Dawn Richards. She's a former Danity Kane member. She has her own lawsuit, which we're going to cover in episode 3. But
I need to get into, like, I don't know. I feel like the second channel got so much potential. I love this channel, obviously. I love the K-pop, I love the Rotten Mango, but the second channel, I really want to be a place where we have a whole different community where we just learn about pop culture, the world, outside of K-pop. Because I feel like it's so much outside of K-pop, but it's so much inside of K-pop. And I feel like my whole life has been K-pop for the last year. So it's like, I kind of like am fiending for like a community that support me in a way that allows me to just post other content. But I got to get consistent over there. And I want something that reflects my community. Like my K-pop channel, I feel like reflects my community, and I want my second channel to be that way. Like if it's not the same way as it is over here on the K-pop channel where I just love posting and like I don't do it for the money, I just kind of like just enjoy the process. Like I enjoy going through new groups, and if it's not like that, I really don't want it. So it's like I'm trying to do it the right way, you know? Well, you might
she has her own lawsuit against Diddy, and she stated that the first time she saw the two of them, Diddy and Cassie, she just felt uncomfortable. Diddy would get into Cassie's personal space. He would fixate on her with this very intense, unyielding stare. It was like he was constantly trying to isolate her while there's other people in the room.
That's exactly what I saw in that clip earlier whenever he was on getting his award and he was saying love. That's exactly the look that I was talking about. Like
another friend of Cassie's would later detail how she was once in the car with Cassie. Diddy's calling on speakerphone, just screaming at her. She alleges he was like, "What are you doing?" Cassie kept hanging up because he was screaming, and then he would call again. She'd pick up and he would scream, "You don't hang up on me." I mean, this does not seem like a normal relationship
at all.
In the new lawsuit filed by Cassie against Diddy in November of 2023, she states publicly that after her on and off relationship with Diddy from 2007 to 2018, she's finally ready to come clean. She says, quote, "After years of silence and darkness, I'm finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships." With the expiration of the New York Adult Survivor Act fast approaching, it became clear this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma that I had experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life. I am ready to tell my story.
Bro, that's the thing about it, bro. Whenever people go through abuse or stuff like that, like it's not like a thing that could just heal. And I feel like that's with any type of trauma. It's not something that's just fixed after you address it. It's something that it take a lifelong journey because you got to reprogram your brain to realize that that's not normal. You went through something traumatic, and that's what trauma is, something that isn't normal, something that shouldn't be normalized, shouldn't be normal. So it take a long time for your brain to realize this is not normal. And that's why like it's important to be patient with yourself and graceful with yourself, because you could be the best person, you could be the perfect person, and you could meet a person who is just horrible, a person who's not good, you know? It's hard to heal from, most definitely. Like, I really do, like, even though some of these videos from Ryan Mango be tough to listen to, and it be like, it make my stomach twist a little bit, it's like, I need to see this type of stuff, because I feel like K-pop in general, but also the Rotten Mango videos, and my community being women has made me such a better man. And I feel like I already grew up around so many women. Like most of the time my pops was gone to work and stuff like that, so my influences have been like my mom, my older sister, my younger sister. I got a little brother, but I didn't really grow up with my little brother. Like my little brother is about to go to the 7th grade, like he's about to be in junior high. So it's like I didn't really grow up with a lot of like hella masculine energy, but I had masculine energy there if I needed it. So it's like, I feel like K-pop and Rotten Mango has opened my eyes up to the tragedies that women go through. And it's like, I need that because I do want to find love. I want to find a woman. And I realize that, you know what I'm saying? Guys don't really understand women the way that they should, you know? Like, it's one thing to understand a person, but it's one thing to understand, like, we all human. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's hard for me to explain it right now, but I'm sure y'all kind of get what I'm putting down. Like, all of us human, and even though we all go through trauma, it's like being able to see this type of stuff and the trauma that they go through, it allowed me to really like step into their shoes and understand it from their perspective, you know?
Story
I
and
love
to
that.
speak up. She goes on to detail in depth about her experience with Diddy. She states that even the start of their relationship was not something she consented to. The lawsuit alleges that after Cassie's 21st birthday party, Diddy pulls her into the bathroom and forcibly starts making out with her. Cassie did not consent. She said she immediately ran out of the bathroom and started crying. She told her best friend what happened, but she doesn't know what to do because she's basically stuck in this 10-album contract with
Bro, I knew this 10-album contract was not a good thing. Bro, I need y'all in the chat to really lock in. Do you understand how many, like 10 albums is crazy to sign? Like a 10-album deal is literally like low-key kind of signing your life away, bro. A 10-album contract is literally signing your life away, bro. Like, you understand how hard it is to put out 10 albums that are actually good? And a lot of y'all don't even understand that when it comes to an album, you can't just make 10 songs, 12 songs, and be like, this the album. Because what if the actual label say, well, I don't like the album. You got to go back and actually make better songs. You might not even be able to put an album out. Bro, 10-album contract is crazy, bro. I knew that was like stupid.
Bad Boy Records. This is the founder and owner of Bad Boy Records that just forcibly kissed her. He knows she has a boyfriend.
And it's like, how long are you gonna be in that contract? Because 10 albums could be, 10 albums can't even be 5 years. I'm not even gonna lie. You can't drop 10 albums in 5 years. It's no possible way you could do that. So no matter what, you end up contract for at least 7 to 10 years. Minimum. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ. She shouldn't have signed that fucking deal, bro. Like, if I would have seen 10-album deal, it would have been like a fucking no. Like, what?
He's so influential in the industry. It's not like she can break the contract and go somewhere else. She's just started.
Crazy.
She had like one hit song. That's it.
And then you only had a hit song? Bro, this is making me more aggravated. How did you sign a 10-album deal and you had like a couple, even if you had only like 3 hits, why would you sign a 10-album deal? Like, oh my gosh. Like, and it's not even like I'm mad at Cassie. It's just like, bro, nobody could, like, it's no amount of money. They could offer me $100 million for 10 albums. And it's like, hell no, bro. Because you got to make sure that you going to have to drop 10 albums. That's a lot of albums.
It appears that she hoped that running out of the bathroom is a signal enough. It's a no without telling him don't ever do that again and pissing him off and maybe making him angry. But no, Diddy allegedly keeps demanding she come spend time with him, quote, for work. On one of those occasions, he hands her this pill and told her to take it. He wouldn't tell her what it was, but she was so scared she just swallowed it.
No.
Later, she said she realized it was ecstasy, something she had never tried before and never wanted to do. And it just gets worse from there.
Bro, you know how scared you gotta be of somebody if they give you a pill and you just take it? That lady, like, she literally could have died. I don't know if fentanyl was out at the time, but bro, she literally could have died. This dude gave her a pill and she just took it?
There were always drugs being pushed onto Cassie. The lawsuit states, as she wanted Mr. Combs to continue to support her career, she felt she could not refuse Mr. Combs' urging for her to take more drugs. Diddy would often have pills and other drugs out in the open like, quote, candy. Within 2 years of meeting Mr. Combs, Ms. Ventura found herself lured into this immediate circle of her boss, the owner of her record label, and one of the most powerful men in the entertainment industry. Mr. Combs' aggressive and demanding approach to those he worked with made it impossible for anyone to challenge him, and Ms. Ventura soon learned that Mr. Combs insisted on blind loyalty from everyone in his inner circle.
Thank you for clarifying, Wilson.
He also rented out apartments in New York City and Los Angeles for her. They were both in walking distance to his residences in both cities. He paid for everything in her life, her houses, her cars, which, yes, sounds great, but that's a really high level of control he now has.
Yeah, once somebody start paying for everything, they got control over you. That's one thing I will say. They got this trend on TikTok going on right now where couples who are 50-50 in a relationship or 100, it's basically a trend where they say, where the women record their boyfriend and they be like, I can't pay the mortgage this month. And they basically get the response. And although, as a man, I do want to provide for my woman and not have to have her work, I also don't want to be in a position where, and I'm not even a person where I would even take advantage of somebody to the point to where I could use my money and my resources to take advantage of them. But whenever you do have a guy who want to provide everything for you, and they use that as a tool to manipulate the relationship, don't ever put yourself in that position. Always, ladies, and this don't even go for ladies, anybody. You should always have money on your own. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got a savings, you know what I'm saying? You should always have money. If you gonna stay at home, especially 2024 going into 2025, if you happen to meet a man who a provider man and he bringing in all of the money and you stay home and take care of the kids, get on to the content creation shit. Make your own money. You should have some money coming in, some money saved up, so that if anything happened, you could, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is financial abuse. Yeah. But when you are in a situation where somebody taking care of you, it can feel good, it can feel sweet. But regardless, you ain't got nowhere else to go. You ain't got nothing to do. What you gonna do if you find yourself in that position?
House over a 21-year-old. And it's not even just the purchasing of things. There was one instance, due to his alleged abuse, Cassie had to get an MRI. You would think that she's safe at the doctors, but even the doctors send the MRI results directly to Diddy and not to her. The lawsuit alleges throughout their relationship, Mr. Combs was prone to uncontrollable rage and frequently beat Miss Ventura savagely.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. I wouldn't, if they didn't circle these, I wouldn't even be able to tell that these was bruises, bro. That's crazy. Could y'all be able to tell that these bruises, if they didn't circle them?
Rage and frequently beat Miss.
I couldn't even tell these bruises if nobody even told me, for real. Like, these literally look like just circles, low-key. Other than this top one kind of look like a bruise. But you gotta understand that this is literally, like, deliberate. Like, if this was just a full photo, bro.
Miss Ventura savagely. These beatings were witnessed by Mr. Combs' staff and employees of Bad Boy Entertainment and Mr. Combs-related businesses, but no one dared to speak up against their frightening and ferocious boss. It is stated that Diddy's head of security and his own assistant, when they saw the extent of some of Cassie's injuries, in one instance, it was 2 black eyes, a burst and bruised lip, and a huge welt on her forehead. They cried.
Did she post this? New Ray-Bans? There's no way she posted this and people was like, what? Am I tripping right now? Chat. They covered them up well? This don't look covered up well right here, I ain't gonna lie. It looked like she went through some shit. And I'm seeing laughing emojis in the comments. I'm confused, genuinely, like actually confused, for real, for real. She got a bloodied up lip, a messed up lip. And the caption is, new Ray-Bans, on my way home. I miss when Instagram was low-key like this and you could post like this and get a good amount of likes, but this is crazy.
A burst and bruised lip and a huge welt on her forehead. They cried. They started crying. But it seems like they didn't do much to stop it. One former employee says, Diddy doesn't believe in being told no, and if you get caught up in the wrath of that, it can be very dangerous. The lawsuit states that the injuries on Cassie were allegedly so bad that Diddy would come to his senses, realizes, oh yeah, these are brutal, literal crimes, felonies that I've committed, and he would hide his girlfriend Cassie in his house or hotels to make sure she's not seen or photographed with all the injuries that he inflicted on her.
I have no idea.
While he's holding her hostage, in a sense, he would bombard her with gifts, words of affirmation, trying to get her back, which he would just get his assistants to buy a bunch of luxury gifts, have them delivered to the hotel room where she's being allegedly held hostage. And if that doesn't work, he would just remind her of how powerful he is. Once, she alleges an assistant tracked her down and told her point blank, hey, if you don't answer his calls, your single is never going to be released.
What?
Like your songs, they're never going to...
Bro, if I'm in a 10 album deal, I'm not dropping 0 singles, nigga. Fuck are you talking about? Your single not gonna be released. Nigga, I'm only focused on albums. Albums only, nigga. What do you mean, singles, nigga? No singles. I don't know nothing about singles. No uno, no uno.
Nothing will happen. Or they would just say ominous things like, it's in your best interest to call Mr. Combs back. Cassie alleges he would do this thing where he made her carry his gun in her purse. She's not familiar with guns and she was terrified that it would go off in her purse, but he gave her zero reason on why he even wanted her to put it in her purse. I mean, it seems like he just did it to instill fear in Cassie, to show her how terrifying he is. Some other instances of alleged violence include once after a party with Jay-Z on the way back home, Diddy beat Cassie in an Escalade by kicking and hitting her. He told the driver to stop the car, made her get out on the street of New York City, and just left.
What?
At another party, Diddy saw her speak.
This nigga's a pure bitch, bro. I hate people who treat people like this when they weak, bro. Like, you know you got the power and you ain't got no fucking grace? Like, you a piece of shit, bro. Like, oh my gosh. Like, it's actually aggravating, bro. Cause it's like, bro, you know that somebody not go like this is like it goes back to like a bully in school. Like, if you bullying somebody and they not ever fighting back and they just sitting there like, why, bro? Like, that pissed me off. I was one of them kids in school growing up. If somebody was bullying somebody, I would like be like, chill the fuck out, nigga. Like, I'm going up to the bully and be like, stop that shit, nigga. You see they ain't fighting back? Like, what the fuck is your issue, nigga? Fight somebody your size. You know, like they say that in the movies and the shows. Pick on somebody your own size. Like, that's real nigga shit. Like, why are you picking on somebody who don't even want to fight back? They just want to be left alone. Like, come on, bro. You left her on the side of the road? Like, this is so weird. Weird energy. Weird energy.
Speaking with a man, and it's likely about work stuff, but he did not care. He asked her to step into the bedroom. It's a hotel after party, so it's one of those large suites with bedrooms, like an apartment. He steps into the bedroom and he just starts beating her while there's a whole party happening outside. She said that she ran from corner to corner of the room to try and avoid him, and eventually she found herself curled up behind the toilet while he was stomping on her. Nobody could hear her scream because of the loud music.
Bro.
In another
Come on, bro. Don't piss me off. Somebody running around the room and going to the toilet, like, you don't have no, like, and then you got the audacity to get up on stage and talk about love is my prerogative, like, love is what I'm all about. You piece of fucking shit. Kicking somebody while they curled up behind the toilet? You know how bad, like, you know how bad it gotta be for you to go in the bathroom and be cuddled up behind the toilet, bro? And you still kicking her? Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I know she talk about this alleged, but this is just too specific for me to believe that this is fake, bro. You, like, Sean Diddy Combs really is a bitch. Like, this is literally the definition of it, bro. Like, what are we talking about right now, bro? Why would you do that to somebody that you supposedly love? Like, what do you, like, genuinely, I seen it in the chat. What do you genuinely gain from that? You literally gain nothing from that other than feeling like you puffing your chest out. But you're not even puffing your chest out. You literally just a bitch. Like,
other instance, it wasn't Cassie that he harmed. Once Cassie was at home with a friend of hers named Carrie. Diddy comes in unannounced, which Carrie did not appreciate, it seems. Likely she knew that Diddy was doing all these things to Cassie. And the two of them, Diddy and Carrie, they get into an altercation where Diddy throws a hanger at Carrie. The two settled it. Diddy and Cassie end up paying her for the dispute. And ever since then, Cassie's friendship with Carrie just strained, which is just the way that Diddy isolates her from everyone. Also, this isn't the first time. Allegedly, he did this with another friend of Cassie's by forcing Cassie to listen to what he wanted. He was like, if you're not going to do what I want, fine. He picks up her friend, allegedly, and dangles her off the 17th floor balcony.
What? This is...
bro, I know I didn't hear that shit. Hold up. Let me rewind this bitch. Because I'm hearing some crazy allegations in this. What do you mean?
He picks up her friend, allegedly, and dangles her off the 17th floor balcony.
What? 17th floor, nigga? Nah, bro. Nah, bro. I don't believe this shit, bro. Nigga, you could have killed this girl. Ended your whole career. Nigga, 17th floor, nigga? Nah, I ain't gonna lie, whoever shorty is, she better than me. Cause if anybody dangle me off the 17th floor, I'm either disappearing out the country or I'm killing that motherfucker. You dangling me off the 17th floor? That's crazy fucking work, bro.
What? This is in the lawsuit?
Yes.
He dangled a human outside the balcony?
Yes.
17th floor, nigga!
I'm sure he was like cradling her more.
Nah, it don't matter how you doing that, bitch. It don't matter how you dangling me off the balcony. You could literally be holding me like these right here. Nigga, we on the 17th floor, nigga. What the fuck you mean? I'm sure he was cradling her. Nigga, it don't matter how you holding me off that bitch. It's the 17th floor. You better not fucking play with me like that, nigga. Cause if I lose my life, it ain't no coming back to life, nigga. This not GTA, nigga. What you mean?
Another time they were at a party in LA, Cassie thought Diddy would be proud and excited that she was networking. She spoke with this music manager in hopes of growing her career. But when Diddy finds out, he's not happy, he's enraged. He drags her out of the party into the car. He's beating her, pushing her into a corner of the vehicle, quite literally, allegedly, stomping on her face. Cassie's lawsuit states Roger Bonds, one of Diddy's security staff, tried to stop the beating, which he does corroborate in an interview. But he is unable to de-escalate the situation. When they get to Diddy's house, Cassie tries to make a run for it, but he chases after her and kicks her in the face again. She's bleeding profusely at this point. She gets ushered into his house where she starts throwing up from the violent assault. Once they got in the house, Diddy, he starts realizing, wait, the extent of her injuries, she's got to go to a hotel to heal. She's not allowed.
A hotel? Bro. It's starting to piss me off more, bro. You didn't think maybe a doctor, a hospital? They already sending you the fucking records. She got a fucking MRI and they sent the records straight to your ass. Why you didn't actually take her to a medical facility or some shit? You got a $60 million crib. You ain't got no medical professional in that motherfucker. The crazy shit you doing, you ain't got somebody to help?
To leave this hotel for an entire week while healing. It's in this hotel room that Cassie stated she starts fully realizing, quote, that Mr. Combs' tremendously loyal network not only knew about and witnessed his assaults, but also these witnesses were not willing to do anything meaningful to stop Mr. Combs' behavior.
What you gotta say now?
Footage emerges of Diddy seemingly towering over ex-girlfriend Cassie as she hides under the blankets, bro. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch this whole series, bro. This actually making me mad, y'all. Cause this is literally sad. I was about to say the only thing worse than one shitty person is a community of shitty people. And it looked like he did recruited a community of shitty people. Whenever you got access to money, and that's the crazy thing about it, like, in the Bible, it say money is the root of all evil. This is exactly what they mean by that. You get one person who's shitty with a whole bunch of money. People who struggling in bad positions and need money. Now he got a chokehold on these motherfuckers who they ain't got enough integrity to actually hold this motherfucker accountable because he got these motherfuckers on payroll. And if he actually get caught being guilty, he probably telling these motherfuckers, y'all actually been a part of this too. That's where the nigga with money get you. The whole Epstein Island shit, the Diddy situation, all these motherfuckers who watch this shit happen, all you gotta do is watch it happen one time. And he got your ass. He got you, especially he get you on some video and shit like that. He got your ass. All because you wanted a little bit of money, nigga. Oh my gosh, bro.
Combs' behavior.
What you gotta say now? What you gotta say now?
And he recording it? Nah, this can't be real.
Say, when you put your girl on the snap.
She recognized she was powerless, and reporting him to the authorities would not alter his status or influence. It would just merely give him another excuse to hurt her. She said from that point forward, she was terrified, isolated, and unable to see a pathway out of Mr. Combs' abusive hold on her life. She found herself numb to the abuse that she was experiencing. She began to blindly follow his instructions out of fear of, again, being on the receiving end of a vicious beating. Tiffany Red is a Grammy-winning songwriter and
I get it. Tiffany Red, red hair type shit.
musician herself. She helped produce Replay by Zendaya, Boss for NCTU, and Songs for Cassie.
What? NCTU? Hold up. Hold up. Let me find out.
In fact, Tiffany Red remembers it was all very odd. I mean, she had written this song for Cassie called Loyal. The two of them had been working on it together, and the first verse reads, I don't know what is real, I just know how I feel, and you keep acting like you don't know what you did wrong, trying to get me to chill. Since we ain't been together, I've been on some whatever.
Right, Choi?
Tiffany could tell that Diddy did not
Or
like
Chloe?
Cassie singing those lyrics,
Not
or at
bad.
least that's the initial vibe that she got, and she thought it was weird.
Did she write that or Cassie wrote that?
Both of them together. Now, they've been in a stable relationship for like a decade. I mean, yes, they're on and off, but still, it's just a song. It's not that serious. But it does indeed get serious.
I think this lady that was working, she got some industry, experience for real. She might be one of them.
Tiffany actually penned an open letter to Diddy when all of this starts unraveling, and she explains how she's a long
Now, Rotten Mango, you could have made this screenshot bigger. We can't read one piece of text on this motherfucker. Damn.
time friend of Cassie's, and yeah, she has seen the abuse. She says to Diddy, I first met you in person in August of 2015.
You say, I'm confused? What you confused about?
At a surprise party you threw for Cassie's 29th
I can
birthday
catch
at
you
a
up if
hotel
you
in
need me
Los
to.
Angeles. I was at her old apartment before the party with friends, rushed by calls from your team about her ETA. We were in a frenzy to get her ready without spoiling the surprise. We all piled into a black car service from her place to the party. We arrived at the area reserved for her party at the hotel, and you popped out singing happy birthday. There were so many friends, a few famous faces, and cameras recording as we sang. She was definitely surprised. Up until that point, I'd only spoken to you once before on FaceTime with Cassie about songs we were working on together. You approached me that day, and you introduced yourself saying, so you're the one writing all those songs about me. I said yes, and you stared back and said, that means she's talking to you, huh? I was uncomfortable because it seemed like you were talking about the more turbulent parts of your relationship. Tiffany also claims that one of Diddy's security guards came up to her once and said something along the lines of, I heard a lot about you, Tiffany. She said, you both creeped me out, and this interaction was super intimidating. It felt like you both wanted me to know that you knew who I was and you didn't like how close I was to her.
What? Wait.
Nah, this is getting scary.
What was the lyrics again? Like, what exactly was said that...
You asking about the lyrics, I'm wondering why Diddy got his henchman, the motherfucking security guard, going up to this music writer, low-key undermining her, like low-key kind of threatening her ass. The security guard went up here and talking about I heard a lot about you, Shotty. Tiffany, I heard a lot about you. Diddy been talking about you. You know what I'm saying? If I was you, I'd back the fuck off. I could only imagine it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why he doing that? I know why he doing it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, chill, nigga. Dang. On this motherfucker talking crazy wazy in this motherfucker. Hold up.
Interaction was super intimidating. It felt like you both wanted me to know that you knew who I was and you didn't like how close I was to her.
What? Wait. What was the lyrics again? Like, what exactly was said that got Diddy so offended?
That she doesn't think he's being loyal.
That got Diddy this emotional?
Yes. Later that evening, during the surprise birthday party, it started in the afternoon, so around nighttime, they all decided to go to a karaoke spot called the Blind Dragon. But only a few of the girlies were wanting to go. Tiffany Red writes, but you weren't happy that she was leaving. I remember your people hovering around us, trying to discourage Cassie from leaving, but we went anyway. You followed us and arrived just a little bit later after we did. It was instantly uncomfortable. You pulled Cassie out of the private karaoke room. She put her head down and went with you. I followed outside to see if she was okay because something was off. When I walked out of the room, you had her backed into the corner of the hallway outside of the door, and your security surrounded you two as you cursed her out with your hands in her face. These are all Tiffany Red's allegations, by the way. She and I briefly made eye contact. I felt helpless. She looked afraid, and I kept looking down at the floor. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. Tiffany explains that in her allegations that the party was over at that point because Diddy wanted Cassie on her 29th birthday to come with him, leave her friends, and do what he wants to do on her birthday, which is already alarming, but that's nothing compared to what actually happens. Or at least according to multiple different accounts, but still alleged since there's no recording of this incident. Tiffany said Cassie pulled her girls aside and asked them, can you guys just go back to my place and stay the night? I'll be back later. I mean, I have to go back to the house right now to gather my stuff, go with Diddy, and I'll be back. And we can have like a little birthday sleepover. Clearly something about the whole situation, the way that Diddy was asking and the way that Cassie was asking them, Tiffany says, I said yes because I was worried that Diddy would hurt her. Prior to this incident, Cassie confirmed in me that you were a physically abusive person, and the way you were in her face that night was so alarming to me. I didn't want to leave her alone. When we got back to her house, she kept saying to us she didn't want to go with you, but you were already on your way to pick her up. One of her friends was packing an overnight bag for her. I'll never forget it. It was the biggest Birkin bag I've ever seen. It was blue. I kept asking why they're packing Cassie's stuff if clearly she didn't want to go with Diddy. And this person said, she always goes. Diddy arrives at the door. And
dang, bro.
You whisked her away. Cassie looked uneasy. I didn't know where you were taking her. Once you left, the person who packed the bag said, they'll be back. Watch. It was almost like they had seen this movie before. Tiffany was worried, but there's not really much that she could have done in that moment considering everything. She says that she fell asleep in Cassie's room and, quote, a few hours later, I was woken up by you screaming, emotional singing bitch, where are you?
Huh?
Yeah, that's what Tiffany claims. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. Tiffany walks out of the bedroom where she had fallen asleep and she's face to face with Diddy, who allegedly says, emotional singing bitch, there you are. Tiffany said she didn't even know that he was talking about her, but now she's like, what? She feels terrified, humiliated, confused, but ultimately freaking scared. And he starts allegedly screaming, tell your girl she needs some birthday dick. I flew all the way from Miami and she's gonna get this birthday dick. Tiffany is terrified. He seems furious and she tries to respond. She doesn't have to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. But allegedly, Diddy keeps screaming around Cassie's house, she gonna get this dick. Which I guess at that point, what Diddy wants, Diddy gets because of how abusive and violent he allegedly is. The two, Diddy and Cassie, end up driving off again in a golf cart since he lives down the street. Tiffany said she watched from the balcony that it was terrifying. She alleges Diddy was driving the golf cart speeding and she says, I thought you were going to get pulled over and go to jail or crash from being so high.
How you even speeding a golf cart? Everything's just making me mad now at this point. Everything just aggravating me at this point. What the fuck we talking about?
It was like a real life scary movie. I was terrified for Cassie, and she later told me that you made her have a freak off that night.
Huh?
Freak offs, according to Cassie's lawsuit, they started happening within a few months of dating. Diddy kept telling Cassie that he wanted to engage in this fantasy with her called voyeurism. He explained,
voyeurism? See, now I'm learning new shit. Hold up, voyeurism? She gonna tell us, but I just kind of want to, is a sexual interest in or practice of watching other people engage in intimate behaviors such as undressing, sexual activity, or other activities. So like porn, like watching porn.
Explained it's a fantasy of watching others engage in intimate activities. He allegedly said it would, quote, turn him on if he saw Miss Ventura with another dick.
So he like live porn? He a cuck?
First time it happens, Diddy hires a man, brings him to his LA mansion. He forces...
Hold up. We're not about to call this voyeurism and try to make it sound like it's upper echelon. No, nigga. You're a cuck. That's what... He's a cuck. Nah. He tried to switch this. He tried to flip the script. Nah. Ain't no flipping no script. I know a cuck when I hear a cuck. He's a cuck. That's what it is, right? Am I tripping, chat? He's a cuck.
That man and Cassie and himself to wear masquerade masks, take drugs. The whole time he's sitting there and allegedly instructing Cassie on what to do to this man while he's watching and self-pleasuring. This encounter according to the lawsuit, lasted multiple days. So it seems like
What? Multiple days? Nigga, how long do it take you to get your off? So you a cuck who can't get it off. That's what you... Bro, how do it take you this long to get it off? And this is not like funny. I know I'm trying to clown him, but it's like, bro, how do y'all do anything for multiple days? How nobody run out of energy? Do it like... See, I'm asking too many questions. I'm not curious. It's just like, it's so many questions because I've never like even thought of this or been in this situation. It's like, y'all don't need fuel. Like, y'all not on no schedule. Like, what's going on, bro?
he's drugging everyone, allegedly keeping everyone on drugs so that they can keep going.
What's good? How you doing?
He starts referring to these events as freak-offs, or an FO, if you will. After the first time, randomly Diddy would call Cassie and tell him he wanted an FO. Eventually, he would even make her coordinate them, picking the location, usually hotels, hiring the male sex workers. He forced her, allegedly, to go online and find these men to have these encounters with, and specifically told her to search for, quote, large black penis.
No, bro. Is he overcompensating? I'm confused.
He would even fly these men around the US to meet up with Cassie and Diddy so that he could watch them having intimate relations with his girlfriend against her will. While Cassie is doing that, Diddy is picking out lingerie that he wants her to wear. He's making sure that her nails are painted white. He allegedly liked to have her white nails to, quote, in paraphrased terms, contrast to the skin of the black men that he was hiring to have sex with her. Diddy's assistants would be sent to the hotel.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is so bad. This is so nasty. What is wrong with Diddy? Oh my gosh. This is nasty, bro. I'm about to cry. This is nasty, genuinely.
To set up the FOs, which, by the way, there's a Conan O'Brien segment. Conan O'Brien was like, I heard this rumor that you don't actually ever check into a hotel by yourself. Like, you are not a normal person. You don't check in and like, oh, where's my room? You send people to check in for you and get the room ready. And he says, yeah, like, they got to make it sexy before I arrive. So he would have his assistants send to the hotel to set up for the FO, set up with baby oil, Astroglide, all these things.
What? Bro, I've never even heard of Astroglide. I don't want to know all the details. She keep giving me more details that I don't need to know. Oh my gosh.
There are also allegedly a ton of drugs present: ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, alcohol. Honestly, it's the only thing that let Cassie disassociate from these encounters. There's so much coordination happening for just one of these encounters. It's really hard to say how many people on Diddy's team were involved in these arrangements.
Oh my God.
Another odd part of the routine is, after the freak-offs, they would get IV fluids to recover from all the heavy drug usage. These freak-offs became more and more frequent, sometimes happening once a week. Clearly, Cassie hated it, but he kept telling her it was their thing, their secret. And allegedly, he would even instruct her to talk to these workers and would specifically instruct where to touch them. He would say things like, quote, grab that big black dick.
Bro, Diddy, please don't tell me, bro. No, this can't be true, bro. Are you okay? Like, I'm actually genuinely, like, asking, bro. Or is Diddy okay? He gotta be having fun like a motherfucker in jail right now. Bro, what is going on? I didn't know this was going on like this. What?
How does it feel? This is in the lawsuit. But sometimes he would just beat her during freak-offs in front of the sex workers. Side note, he would pay the men a few $1,000s in cash for their services, and probably to make Cassie feel more disgusting, it seems, he would present her with gifts during the freak-offs.
Bro, this nigga's sick. Like, actually sick. Like, sick in the head. I don't know how he not sick in the stomach.
The lawsuit states at one point she had so many designer bracelets from the freak-offs, and immediately following his brutal beatings, he would gift her bracelets, designer bracelets, that she felt that she was shackled by his presence.
What the
lawsuit alleges during the freak-offs, in addition to directing Miss Ventura and masturbating, Mr. Combs would use his phone, laptop, and tablet to film Miss Ventura having sex with the hired sex workers. He treated the forced encounter as like a personal art project, adjusting the candles he used for lighting to frame the videos he took.
Bro, this nigga's creativity is just ridiculously sinister. Like, why though? Like, bro, did you run out of like porn to watch? Like, what did you what I want to know what, like, and I don't want to know at the same time, how did you get to this point to where this is what you're doing with your life? Like, what is going on? Like, you ain't never, like I know all of us, because I know some of y'all might be young, so post nut clarity. That's all I'm going to say. Do this nigga not experience it? Like, it got to hit you way harder than anybody else living right now, bro. Like, it's nothing that, oh my gosh. Like, it's hard for me to even digest this right now, bro. You don't feel weird after getting your nut off and after all of the stuff that you done did? Like, what is going on, bro? I genuinely want to know. Like, you need to be in a psych ward or something. Like, this not normal in the slightest. Like, in the slightest. This is weird. Like, to the highest level of degree, nigga. Buying designer stuff to make her feel shackled and all types of crazy shit.
Sometimes he would use Cassie's phone to take those videos and pictures, and she would immediately delete them after, because why would she want that on her phone? But he would just mock her. Oh, you know I can recover that. Like, that's crazy. Huh? Which is kind of a hard to believe statement of, no, that's crazy. You're crazy. How can you recover it? It's my phone. I deleted it, and I deleted it from my recently deleted. What do you mean? Well, not too long after that, they're on his plane heading to another city, and he forces her to sit next to him and plays her a video that she believes she had deleted from her phone.
What?
So maybe he sent it to his phone before.
Wait, so whenever you delete stuff, it ain't deleted? Bro.
Or it was, I don't know.
That is crazy.
Nah, that's
But
crazy.
he had it playing on the plane and forced her to watch the entire
On the plane?
She started developing this intense fear and anxiety for these freak-offs, and she would become physically ill every time he demanded one. She would just start throwing up when he told her he wanted a freak-off, and he would see this, convince her that she...
I'm not gonna lie, she better than me. I would have ran the fuck away, bro. I would have found, like, any possible downtime that I could find. I'm literally moving to a whole different country, like, erasing my name and everything. This is crazy.
He needed to do this and would shame her for saying no. And if that didn't work, he would beat her.
It's not that big of a deal, Wilson.
There was one time where Cassie said she was ready to leave. She's trying to move on and briefly entered into a romantic relationship with Kid Cudi. But Diddy kept calling her for more freak-offs. And out of fear, she went. And during that freak-off, I don't know if he stole her phone or forced her to let him have it. He ends up finding emails between Cassie and Kid Cudi. He freaks out. He puts a wine corkscrew in between his fingers and starts lunging at Cassie, allegedly, according to the lawsuit. She was terrified. She ran out of there and briefly went to stay with Kid Cudi. He's calling her, threatening her. I'm going to blow up his car. She leaves his house, goes to her parents' house because she's scared. And sure enough, his car explodes in his driveway.
Nah.
Since then, others have come forward with their alleged freak-off experiences, including one of Diddy's alleged drug dealers. So the word freak-offs, these parties, they've kind of merged into different variations. Cassie's freak-offs that she lists in her lawsuit seem like more intimate encounters where she's forced to engage in activity.
Don't say intimate. We gonna call them weird. We not calling it intimate. I don't like that word being used in the freak-offs.
He's with 1-2 different people in front of Diddy, right? But some people have stated he would just have like these freaky sex parties, allegedly. Again, this could be someone that's never met Diddy a day in his life until things are proven in the court of law. Take everything with a grain of salt. But this alleged drug deal.
This is way too explicit to take everything with a grain of salt. Usually, right, Mango? You be giving us, like, you know, very general. Sometimes you get a little explicit, but you got 4 parts, and it's the first part.
Dealer states that he once went to Diddy's mansion in the Hamptons to drop off a shipment of supplies, if you will. Diddy opens the door in nothing but a robe, brings him to a back bedroom to make the deal, and that's when he sees, quote, weird shit. Weird shit was starting to happen. Celebrity guys fucking each other. They were in the back bedrooms, and it was like the inner sanctum. He states there were a lot of people at that party, female rappers, sex workers. They were already high on what seemed to be ketamine and GHB, basically roofies.
Ketamine? Bro, I'm not gonna lie. It's like I've done a couple of drugs. You know what I'm saying? Story time's coming soon. I would never, ever partake in anything called ketamine. That don't even sound like some shit that you're supposed to even partake in. What the hell is going on in this house? How do he got access and how he not getting caught up? Like, what is going on, bro?
Which the drug dealer alleges you could see two people you would not think would be hooking up, rappers. That's what shocked me. I won't say names, but there were rappers that I immediately
No, say names.
lost respect for and could never take seriously again. Which, like, what is that supposed to mean? But he continues, that's when I got the out of there.
This is a statement he made without any names
Yes.
mentioned.
I don't want to be
Now,
rich.
this could be a total lie, complete and utter lie. But he's
This has been
claiming
2
he
hours
was
and we
Diddy's
still
drug
not
dealer
finished?
and he saw these freak offs. So that's why I'm telling you the word freak offs, these parties are kind of merging. And then some people believe that all of Diddy's parties are freak offs, that everyone that went to the white party should be burned at the stake. But then some people are saying, no, it's the after parties. Like what this drug dealer is describing, that's the problem. And then some people are saying, no, it's
We
the
getting through it,
encounters
Chloe.
that
We
he's
getting
forcing
through it.
these people into, like Cassie, that are the freak offs. So it's unclear. It could be all of the above. We don't know until the trial, I guess.
It's hard to say which is more off the hook, a Diddy party or a Diddy after party, or a Diddy after party, which is basically a pre-party for the next Diddy party.
There are a lot of allegations
So you partook in the situations. That's what I'm. Is that Fat Joe? I'm pretty sure that's Fat Joe. We could mark him on the list.
and lawsuits that women had attended his
Ketamine is
white
the name of a
parties
cereal
and then they were essayed at those
on the
parties.
street.
But I don't know if those are freak offs. So it's like terminology, I guess, at that point.
Nah, we
And
need a
those
list.
lawsuits we will get into part 2.
A Diddy list.
Now, he does note that he never saw Diddy himself partake in any sexual activity. But there seems to be a slightly different variation of freak-offs, like I said, from what Cassie is alleging. So in this episode, we're just going through Cassie's version of freak-offs and how they would be conducted. Tiffany Red also states that the only time that Cassie's music ever advanced, Diddy was ever willing to talk to Cassie about her business and her music was if she participated in freak-offs. In fact, he would force her to listen to her demos and her songs during the freak-off, allegedly.
What?
He would play the songs that they're working on during.
Nah, this nigga's actually sick, bro. The level of detail and strategic finesse that this nigga is putting into this freak off is crazy, nigga. What do you mean you playing the demo tapes? Bro, she got a 10-album deal, nigga. At least listen, shit.
during the alleged freak-offs.
Damn.
Tiffany
This
Red
nigga's
claims
sick.
all these years, all those songs that we worked on, I mean, to find out all those years, I spent all this time writing these songs for him to rip my friend to them.
Nah, that's
Tiffany
wild.
Red said, I mean, even his speech at the BET Awards, right? Cassie had moved on finally for the past 4 years.
Yeah, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
I don't even know how she moved on.
It's like harassment, she says. You're still fucking with her. Leave her alone. Leave her the fuck alone. Another source says he tries to paint a picture of being this heartbroken man after Cassie left, but he's just a liar and an abuser. It feels like a threat, just like what happened when she did leave him. Cassie states in her lawsuit that in September 2018, she finally decides to leave Diddy. The two of them meet up at an Italian restaurant in Malibu where she confirms, yes, I'm serious, I'm done. Like, you can have all your stuff back, I'm over it. The dinner went okay. After dinner, he drops her off at her place, but instead of letting her leave, he allegedly forces himself into the apartment, tries to kiss her. She obviously tells him no because she's done, but instead of leaving, he allegedly forcibly takes off her clothes, unbuckles his belt, and proceeds to essay Cassie while she claims she repeatedly told him no and is trying to push him away.
Come on, bro. Don't do
Soon after, Cassie leaves the apartment that he was paying for, leaves everything like the car that he paid for, and manages to get out of her Bad Boy Records contract. And coincidentally, a few months after she moved away, she gets doxxed. Her new address gets posted online, which leads to her feeling paranoid and terrified, rightfully so. But there is a question of, if this all happened in 2018, why is she just now, in the end of 2023, filing the lawsuit? The two, Cassie and Diddy, broke up in 2018 after a decade of dating, like I said.
Okay.
Cassie moves on, remarries her personal trainer, Alex Fine, in 2019, and appears.
I don't know how she even moved on. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Bro, Cassie doesn't want anything to do with you. Leave her alone. That's what I'm saying,
That he
bro.
really helped her recover from
He
not just
tried
the
way
physical,
too hard.
emotional, mental trauma.
Why do you, like? I don't understand. Why do you want somebody who don't want you? Like that don't feel weird. Why do you want somebody who genuinely do not want you? Why wouldn't you want somebody who like all for you? Like, is that not what people like yearn for when it comes to like love or a relationship or any sexual encounter? You want somebody who literally just wants you and like uncontrollably wants you. Why is he acting like this?
But just everything. She was also had an unhealthy relationship with drugs and alcohol because of how Diddy would push them onto her, allegedly. She said it was established and fueled by Mr. Combs. They would briefly help ease the pain. Even afterwards, she would have these horrific nightmares of the freak-off. She had difficulty sleeping and eating. She starts having thoughts of self-exiting. It's not until she ends up having 2 daughters that she feels like she, quote, was safe from the trauma that had consumed over a decade of her life. Cassie went to rehab to deal with the repercussions of her time with Diddy, and she said that being a mom gave her a renewed purpose. And in 2023, Cassie sues him thanks to the New York Adult Survivors Act, which essentially created this look-back window. Adult survivors could file civil lawsuits against their abusers, so not criminal lawsuits, like civil lawsuits, regardless of when the abuse occurred, and if the statute of limitations for the civil lawsuits was over.
Is this a new law in New York or?
It was a 1-year window that gave survivors. So it's because a lot of people need a lot of time to even come to terms with what happened. And we would hope that now is a lot more accepting of an environment for survivors, even though we still have a long ways to go.
How is that only 1-year window?
That's
though?
what I'm saying, yeah. But it was a 1-year window for people to sue their abusers and seek that justice that they might finally be strong enough to look for. And in that 1-year window, over 3,000 lawsuits were filed under the act, including Cassie Ventura's, which Diddy is arguing is false, 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 false. It's a money grab. Diddy's team, in essence, their argument boils down to Cassie is a cheater. She cheated on Diddy. And she willingly participated in those freak-offs, but now she's upset and wants to get more money out of Diddy, basically alleging her of orchestrating a shakedown to get this money. His attorney, Ben Braffman, says, for the past...
I'm not gonna lie, this nigga look like a scumbag. I hate to say that, but he do, bro. This dude right here, this Diddy's lawyer, I don't know if this is his current lawyer, but this is one of his lawyers. Bro, this look like one of the dudes I see in the grocery store. I'm shopping for like ground beef or some chicken. I see this nigga in the grocery store and he don't want nothing to do with me. He moving weird. He acting like I'm looking at him and he actually looking at me. You know how like some people looking at you, but they acting like you looking at them? And you like, bro, I happen to see you out my peripheral and you was looking nervous because I was in the area. You're projecting right now. Like he wanted them. For sure, for sure.
6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Ms. Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seek a payday.
He probably is one.
To which Cassie's attorney responded, but you already offered her 8 figures to prevent her from filing this lawsuit, which we rejected.
What? So Cassie said that he tried to pay her 8 figures and she's rejected.
Damn.
Her attorney stated.
8 figures is crazy. But it's no amount of money that could stop the trauma that you caused to somebody. So he should have known that shit wasn't gonna work, but he tried, you know? You can't blame a goofy for trying. And you also gotta think, he probably thinking, I already put her through this trauma, she already know what I could do. So when I offer her this 8 figures, he probably thinking in his head, that's low-key respectable. You know what I'm saying? But it's not.
Wow.
The public arguments are over after these statements because within a business day, 24 hours, Cassie and Diddy settle for an undisclosed amount. There's a number circulating that she settled for $30 million, but that seems to be taken from a statement Diddy's attorney made where Cassie allegedly demanded $30 million or else she would write a book. She could have settled for $30 million. Honestly, I hope a lot more because
That's
he's
what
worth
I'm
$1 billion.
Bro,
Wait, so she filed
you talking about he worth $1 billion. I'm sitting here thinking about the beginning when they was talking about his house is $60 million. His other crib in Miami is $30 million. I gotta at least settle for the $60 million. Simple. Am I tripping? Let me know in the chat. What you settling for if your nigga put you through this? From what I heard, and I heard a lot. I ain't gonna lie, minimum $60 million. I ain't gonna cap. Diddy probably not gonna go for that shit, but I'm settling for $60 million or I'm exposing the bullshit that you done put me through. Nigga, fuck wrong with you? Simple. I got the audacity. Fuck wrong with you? Come on, bro. I got the audacity. Fuck wrong with you?
this lawsuit. A day later, she withdrew it.
No,
or
they settled.
They settled. Right. So,
Yes.
so we're still able to access the lawsuit.
Yes. So I would say him settling is not an admission of guilt.
Yeah.
However, it's very beneficial for him to settle. It's not beneficial for her to settle unless she doesn't want this in the news for her family. She doesn't want to keep going down this fight because it's a long fight. But for him, it's very beneficial because once you go into discovery, more things are going to come out into the open. Evidence.
I be feeling really, really bad whenever somebody who don't have as much money is in a lawsuit with somebody who got a whole bunch of money, because the person with a whole bunch of money is not as much of a nuisance to them, because it's like, I got a limited money, bro. You know, like, we can fight this as long as we want to fight this, but the person who don't have as much money, it's like, how long can they really sit in court and pay for the lawyers? Because at the end of the day, money do rule. So the person with more money in the court go and be able to fight this longer, you know?
Evidence has to be brought up.
Yeah. Will this be mentioned during next year's trial? Or?
Yes, because she settled in a civil lawsuit where likely they signed an airtight NDA where they cannot mention each other or talk about each other or wage any other public accusations against each other. However, in a criminal lawsuit, she can be called to testify. That does not bar her from testifying or working with federal investigators.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's good. Now, she could have settled for $30 million. I hope a lot more, but the exact amount has not been disclosed to the public. Cassie released a statement after the settlement stating, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control." And again, you know, I think it's just so much trauma to go through. And of course, Diddy's attorneys are going to be slinging dirt at everybody. It's just rough. She says, "I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support." Diddy releases his own statement. "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." His attorney
Stop saying that love shit. It's pissing me off, bro.
also butts in and says, "Just so we're clear, a decision to settle a lawsuit, especially in 2023, is in no way of admission of wrongdoing. Mr. Combs' decision to settle the lawsuit does not in any way undermine his flat-out denial of the claims. He is happy they got to a mutual settlement and wishes Miss Ventura the best." Now, again, it's very interesting because netizens state, for Cassie, it's very understandable why she would settle. She got her truth out there. She's warning other women, and now she doesn't have to go through this whole process that's going to take so much of her life, take so much money. She's going to have so many problems to deal with. This could be the best way for her to heal. Now, for Diddy, people are saying, why would you settle if you're not guilty? Even though technically, legally, it's just a little weird. It's just weird, buddy. Now, the lawsuit is filed November 16th, and they settled the day after. And for a while, everybody stays a bit quieter because it's unclear what any of that really means. I will say most people are thankfully on Cassie's side, but a good chunk, they just want to reserve their opinions for later. Until another lawsuit hits Diddy, then another. In total, 11 lawsuits would hit Diddy back to back.
After Cassie's lawsuit.
Yes. And then he will be hit with that federal raid on his houses, on both of his homes in March 2024 for an investigation into sex trafficking. Now the questions are open again. What the hell is going on? And none of Diddy's attorney's comments are even making sense. I will say a lot of the serious allegations do briefly get overshadowed by the baby oil memes, which Diddy's attorney attorney doesn't really make it any better. Diddy's attorney has tried to argue about the copious, unfathomable, frankly bizarre amounts of baby oil in his possession. He's got a big house. Americans, as we know.
Man, nigga, I know you fucking lying. It don't matter how big my house is, nigga. I'm not buying 1,000 bottles of fucking baby oil, nigga.
We'll buy in bulk. There's a Costco down the street. I mean, this is what...
Bro, stop blaming Costco. Stop. No, y'all not about to get away with this.
Consensual adults doing what consensual adults do. We can't get so puritanical in this country to think that somehow sex is a bad thing, because if it was, there would be no more people.
Nigga, this lawyer can't be serious. I knew something was up with this lawyer when I seen the picture of his ass. I called this ass out. Y'all see me literally on live right here. Bro, there's no way you sitting up here talking about it's a Costco up the street. You know, grown-ups do what grown-ups do. Nigga, that's 1,000 bottles of baby oil. It don't take all that to do something normal.
He says it wasn't 1,000 baby bottle oils, but it was a lot. And I'm not sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
He has a big house. He buys in bulk. You know, I think they have Costco's in every place where he has a home.
Which Costco responded to this statement stating, we do not sell baby oil in any of our U.S. locations.
No! Costco came out and said that? No! Costco, hey, I ain't gonna lie, Costco is looking out for the brand. They was like, nigga, we do not sell no baby oil. Don't get us caught up in none of this shit, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? Nah, Costco crazy for that.
Keep that name out your mouth.
That's crazy.
Basically. Yeah.
They don't sell baby oils?
No, not in the U.S.
What?
Nah, that's crazy, bro.
Even Costco wants nothing to do with Diddy.
That's what
to
I'm
which
saying.
people responded, I don't think anyone questioned where he was getting the baby oil. His lawyer is so unserious. Diddy is all lubed up and slipping through the bars in his cell. His lawyer is trying to get Diddy a Costco commercial at this point. Now, side note, the cost of baby oil, like we said, is probably like $10,000 for 1,000 bottles, but it's going to cost Diddy a lot more. Cassie alleges in her lawsuit that Diddy would instruct her to pour excessive amounts of oil all over herself. And once, in a 2013 incident at the Intercontinental Hotel in New York City, he was charged tens of thousands of dollars in damages by the hotel after an FO.
What?
It's unclear if it's a direct cause of the baby oil, but I'm sure baby oil is not easy to clean. But perhaps it is. I don't know. Because for months, nothing happens to Diddy. He gets sued in November 2023. His homes are raided March 2024. He will not get arrested until September 2024. For 5 months, he is free and he is showing off that freedom. He posts videos of himself.
See, this how I know it's a red flag. Because how many grown-ass men, keep in mind, Diddy is a little older. How many grown-ass men do you know got a flat top? I hate to point that out. Because whenever I was coming up, flat tops was fire. You know, they had the, what era was it? They had the OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., when he had the blonde on the top. I fell victim to it. I had the blonde on the top. You know, the little S-curl cream that you know, the little relaxer that you put in your hair. I fell victim to it. I hate that I fell victim to it. My mama didn't warn me or nothing. She wanted me to get it. She down bad for that shit, too. Mama Vex, you down bad for that shit. But having a high top, red flag off the jump.
Till September
As a grown
2024.
man.
For
If you in
5
junior
months,
high,
he is
school,
free and he is showing off that freedom. He posts videos of himself.
It's cool.
Standing by the ocean, staring down a tropical storm. His arms are outstretched to a pastor's voice saying, not hysterical, not frantic, not anxious, not fretful, but steady in the storm.
I'm free as a motherfucker.
He also goes whitewater rafting with his friends, and it seems like he's living the life because at this point, his lawsuit is settled. The feds raided his house and have nothing. That means maybe they have nothing on him. He's free to go on his yachts, go on his plane, and he's always denied the allegations against him. If he really were that bad, he would have been arrested, right? And of course, naturally, people just want to hate on Cassie, believing that her lawsuit was a money grab. One netizen comments, she had the option to leave. She participated in her own misery. If a man puts his hands on you, just go. Which is insane.
Yeah. I hate when people say that shit, bro. Because growing up, I had parents, and my parents went through some shit. You know what I'm saying? And I seen the shit firsthand. And it wasn't like abusive, but it was kind of like verbally abusive, but never physically abusive. You know? So it's like it didn't get as horrible as it could get, but abuse is abuse. Simple. Abuse is abuse. And I feel like that's kind of like what has made me the man that I am. So it's like, I'm not glad that that happened, but I'm glad that I seen that to the point to where it made me never want to put a woman through that. Especially growing up around women, I would never think of my sister. I would never want my sisters to go through that shit. So I kind of go throughout life thinking like that. I would never put a woman through that because I would never give a woman what I wouldn't want my mama or my sisters to go through. And I feel like all men should go throughout life doing that. It's weird that men will like treat their sisters and their mama with the most respect and then go out and treat other women with disrespect. I don't understand that logic. But niggas will come up with anything in their head to justify being retarded. But where I was going with this is because I seen that, it's like I don't understand it. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna go too deep.
Another comment reads, she knew about all the freak-offs and didn't say anything for over a decade.
It's not as simple as
Someone
just
else
leaving.
comments, some women are willing to endure abuse for money. If she could do it all over again and get the money, I believe she would still be with Puff. She left Ryan Leslie, a handsome musical genius, for Diddy. Such a gold digger move. Not sure why.
Did this man age beautifully? That nigga look better older than he did younger. Hold up.
She'll be with Puff. She left Ryan Leslie,
No
a
homo,
handsome
but I'm just
musical
being
genius,
honest.
for Diddy. Such a gold digger move. Not sure why she gets so much sympathy. She outed him for money, not justice.
Wow.
Another comment reads, some women pretend to be into all that freaky stuff to keep a man. She was always receiving money, gifts, and a lifestyle most people will never live. She decided at the time it was a good idea, and then she grew up and realized how nasty the whole thing was and wanted out. I don't think Diddy made her do something she didn't want to do at the time. It was fun until it wasn't. Some allege that she might have put her hands on him first because, quote, some women like to do that. They like to put their hands on a man just to see what that man will do.
Stop it, bro.
Insinuating that Cassie was violent first. What on earth is going on right now? Thankfully, this is the smaller group of netizens, but there's also a guy named Boozy, and he's a rapper, but I think he's just a certified hater. He states this about Cassie and the freak-offs. Either she was traumatized by what she went through, she was sick and she was hurt, or she...
Why is she called Boosie Boozy? Nigga, I am weak. She said Boozy. I was like, it didn't even register in my head. Cause I'm from Louisiana, so I know who Boosie is. But it's Boosie, not Boozy. I'm literally, like, when she said Boozy, I'm thinking of some random nigga online named Boozy. Boosie be having some crazy ass takes, I ain't gonna lie. Bro, what the hell? Oh my gosh, bro. This is hilarious.
Hopefully this is the...
If y'all don't know, over on YouTube, because this probably gonna get posted on YouTube, I'm from Louisiana, so I know who Boosie Badass is. He's a Louisiana legend, but the nigga be saying crazy shit, reckless ass shit. I'm not gonna defend the nigga. You know, he a legend when it come to music, but music don't define somebody. A great example of that is Diddy Combs, but also we also got to think of R. Kelly. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Musically, somebody could be talented, gifted, but that don't make them a great person. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Type shit.
A smaller group of netizens, but there's also a guy named Boozy, and he's a rapper, but I think he's just a certified hater. He states this about Cassie and the freak-offs. Either she was traumatized by what she went through, she was sick and she was hurt, or she loved every minute of it.
Either she was traumatized, she was sick and hurt, or she loved every minute of it.
What?
Oh my gosh. Boozy, come on, bro. Why did I call him Boozy? Boozy. Come on, bro.
Kind of... A lot of comments point out, aside from her getting a settlement, which, what's wrong with that? Okay, they comment, he never planned music for her. It's like he signed her just to date her. He had bad intentions from the get-go because he mentioned that the world would love her music, but she barely got to create music and music videos.
Yeah.
They also state that there's a lot of people backing Cassie's story. Cassie's alleged former makeup artist has since gone on to CNN to allege that she was privy to an incident in 2010 where Diddy beat Cassie in a hotel room. She remembers being so scared. She starts packing Cassie's things, gets her out of there, brings her to her home, but they were too scared to call the police. Roger Bonds, who claims to be a former bodyguard for Diddy, that he was also listed in the lawsuit, states that he believes Cassie 1,000%.
Bro, Vlad TV is crazy. Should we react to some Vlad TV videos over on the second channel?
He alleges he himself has seen Diddy put his hands on Cassie. He states, quote, if Cassie was talking to somebody else, he would lose his mind. He also confirmed sometimes he would just leave her places and not come back for her. Like, remember she alleged he would just leave her in New York City, just stop on the side of the road after beating her and then push her out the car?
There's no possible way you can have any love for somebody and just leave them and never come back. And just expect them to just figure it out. Like, that's crazy.
In addition to that, he alleges everybody was afraid of Puff. A lot of people knew what was going on, but nobody said anything. Nobody said nothing. I'm glad she's speaking her truth. I hope she gets justice. But the most detailed corroborating evidence is actually from another lawsuit filed by Dawn Richards, former Danity Kang member who was managed by Diddy. It's a group that Diddy formed. Okay. There were lots of allegations in her lawsuit that we're going to get to in part 3. But the ones pertaining to Cassie said she saw Diddy beating, choking, punching, slapping, and throwing things at Cassie. She said one time she saw Cassie making eggs for him for breakfast. Diddy comes barreling down the stairs, pissed off, high on drugs, or at least he looked like he was high on drugs, according to Dawn's version of events. She claims he starts screaming, I've been asking you for my shit. I can't stand you. You never do anything right. She claims he pushes Cassie against the wall, starts choking her before picking up the scalding hot pan of eggs and throwing it at her.
Man, fuck no, man. I done heard enough of this shit. The fuck you mean you threw the eggs at her, nigga? You know, I ain't never had no bitch make no eggs for me. And I hate to say bitch, but I'm just being, you know, I'm being a nigga right now. Bro, what you mean? Making eggs for you and you to threw the eggs on her, bro? Cause you ain't getting it on time? Nigga, you lucky you getting it at all. Nigga, fuck wrong with you? Nigga been sitting here for 2 years single. No talking stages, no nothing. Nigga, fuck wrong with you? Bro, I swear niggas with money just, man. Niggas with money
causing her to fall into the ground into a fetal position.
Bitch ass niggas.
Diddy isn't done though. He keeps cursing at Cassie and allegedly dragging her up the stairs. Another incident, she allegedly saw Diddy attack Cassie in a van, grabbing her by the neck, dragging her out of the van into the grass, choking her while yelling, "You're gonna get fucked up today." Dawn's lawsuit states, in another instance, Mr. Combs punched Miss Ventura in the face in the bathroom of a party in LA. Frequently, when Miss Ventura attempted to voice an opinion or stand up to Mr. Combs, he would strike her or wrap his hands around her throat and choke her. She also alleges that they would be out to dinner with other high-profile celebrity guests. She names them in the lawsuit. She once saw Diddy hiss at Cassie at the dinner table and forcibly punch her in the stomach so hard she doubled over and started crying. One of the other women escorted Cassie out of the restaurant, and Diddy stayed to keep socializing. According to the lawsuit, whenever Dawn tried to step up and help or de-escalate, Diddy would threaten Dawn, saying, allegedly he would say, "This is normal. This was just a lover's argument. This is what love is. I'm giving you an opportunity. No. If you want to make it, shut your mouth. If you say anything, there will be consequences. Y'all bitches don't get in my relationship. Don't tell my bitch what she needs to be doing. Just make money and shut the fuck up."
Bro, see, this is what this nigga doing. He using money, like, bro, y'all can't, anybody in the chat, bro, you cannot, like, live your life based off of money. Because you know what is interesting about life, bro? Whenever your life end, none of that money shit gonna fucking matter, bro. None of that money shit gonna matter, bro. You gonna sit there in that hospital bed or wherever you at, wherever you laying in your life, leaving from your body, you starting to take your last couple of breaths, and you gonna think, dang, how did I live my life? It's inevitable. Did I say that shit right? It's inevitable. Now I said it right. I know I said it right. Bro, no matter who you are, no matter what life you live, whether you're a billionaire, because I know some of the people in the chat right now, it's probably like 30 people in the chat, 20 people in the chat. No matter who you are in the chat, one of y'all gonna be a billionaire. It don't matter who you are, bro. That money shit, it's only gonna take you so far, bro. Who you actually are, to people, all of this shit gonna go someday, bro. Y'all gotta realize that, bro. It don't matter who you are, how much money you make, no matter how much influence you have on the world, you could literally have the most influence on the entire world out of everybody. Bro, whenever you on that deathbed, whenever you about to leave this earth and you don't know where you gonna go, you don't know if you gonna go to heaven, you don't know if you gonna go in the dirt and everything gonna go black, no matter who you are, bro. Like, you gonna start to think about your life whenever your life start fading out of this realm of reality, and you gonna be like, who was I? Was I happy with the life that I lived, bro? And that shit gonna hit you deep to the point to where you gonna feel sick. You gonna feel horrible. You gonna feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm in tune with the world, so I know what it is, even though I ain't been there, bro. Like, I'm spitting real shit to you right now. I want you to pay attention. Like, be a good person in this life. Spread love, spread joy. We only here for a certain amount of time. Don't sit here and live your life based off of strictly money. Money is important, but it's not the highest level of, like, come on, bro. You can get your money and still be a respectable ass person. This nigga's a bitch, bro. Damn, this shit pissing me off.
I end artists. I shelve careers. You could go missing. You just want to die today? You want to die today? I make N-words go missing. I end people.
That is crazy. So he's blatantly doing this in front of every single person.
Yeah.
And nobody even dare to go against him.
Bro, cause niggas scared, bro. They want that money, bro. They niggas is hoes. And then to act gangster on camera and act like they really like that, bro. I hate niggas who act like they gangster and then when a real nigga, a nigga who really like ain't got nothing to lose get in front of him, now they don't want to be gangster. Like, come on, bro.
That's how powerful he was.
Yeah, I see a lot of people like ripping apart people for not coming forward until Cassie came forward. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? I see people ripping them apart. I see other people arguing with them saying, you just don't get it. Like, it's not, people aren't believed anyway to begin with. And to go up against Diddy is just the amount of funds he has.
Yeah.
In 2019, a former on and off girlfriend of Diddy's, Gina, goes onto a podcast with Tasha T, where she alleges just a lot of...
Nigga had some baddies, I ain't gonna lie. They had the veneers, pretty face, brows done, nice hair.
Things took place between her and Diddy.
Wait, when was this?
2019.
2019, right after Cassie.
Yes, but this whole podcast basically gets ignored, kind of buried, honestly. This is 4 years before Cassie's lawsuit comes out. Mm-hmm. She says she met Diddy when she was 21, 22. She's been seeing Diddy for the past 6 years while he's been with Cassie.
She in a Gucci top too.
He's double her age at this point, but they start dating. And according to the timeline, Gina starts dating Diddy around the time that he's dating Cassie. She even alleges in the interview that Cassie did reach out to her a few times to tell her to leave Diddy alone. But she states that Cassie was always nice, never called her any names or anything. She even states in the interview that the last time she spoke with Cassie reached out to her and she said, she called me at 4 a.m. Cassie did, and was like, hey, I just had a dream and I just wanted to call you and tell you I don't hate you. I don't have bad blood. I don't have anything towards you or anything like that. Which, side note, a lot of people think that Cassie telling her to leave Diddy alone wasn't like, leave my man alone, but rather leave, get out, go, like get help before it's too late.
We didn't see the message.
Gina meets him February of 2014, allegedly gets pregnant in October of 2014, in which she alleges that she confides in him and he just assumes, well, you're going to get an abortion, right? She states she tells him she's not sure exactly what she wants to do, and he offers her $50,000 to terminate, which is true. I'm sure was incredibly insulting considering Gina states she did terminate, but she turned down the money. She said, I just loved him. I was just trying to prove to him that I'm not that girl that wanted the money. I just cared about him. She explains, and I just wanted him to be nice to me. It was like, I don't want your money. I just want you to be nice to me. She later alleges on the podcast,
everybody in the chat, if somebody offered you $50,000, $50,000 not a cheap amount. $50,000 to get rid of a baby, you getting rid of it? Cause low key, even though I agree, she's trying to show that she love him and stuff like that. $50,000 is about what you gonna spend on the child. Maybe first year, second year. I don't know. I haven't had a child. Whenever I have a child, maybe I could update y'all. But I ain't gonna lie, $50,000 is a cheap amount.
First few months he was really nice, and then after he started being an asshole. Like, I would say the first 3.5 years he was mean to me. When you say mean, could you describe it? Tasha T is asking her.
No, he make more than
He
that.
was abusive.
That's valid.
He was always
That's
belittling me. He was like mentally, emotionally, and physically.
See, you playing the long game. I see you. Cause child support over 18 years, you might could get more than 50,000. I see you.
Abusing me. Tell me some of the things that he would say to you. He would always compare me to Cassie, tell me that I'm the bad one, she's the good one. And he was with both of you guys at the same time. Yeah, at one point I was like breaking out really bad with acne, and he would be like, he said this a few times. He would be like, baby, why don't you go see a doctor or something? I don't date women with bumps on their faces. He would call me names. He would call me a hoe every single day. I was naive and young when I met him, so I felt like he tried to take advantage of that and manipulate me. And
bro, there's no way this nigga calling somebody a hoe and he having freak offs and shit. Bro, like, come on.
I was naive and young when I met him, so I felt like he tried to take advantage of that and manipulate me and made me feel low about myself. So obviously, you terminated baby one because you loved him. How long after dating did the physical abuse start? The first time it happened, which was not even that long into the relationship, we started dating beginning of February. It was probably beginning of May, because we were at Meek Mill's birthday party. It was like a mansion party, and we went. She explains that she's sitting down on...
We just got a new follower over on the Twitch. Appreciate it.
Her right is Diddy, and on Diddy's right is Meek Mill. But she says, I was covered with like a stand or something, like probably says happy birthday Meek or something like that. And the stand was covering me because there was a lot of cameras and stuff there. So it's like me, Puff, and Meek. So he's publicly dating Cassie. So this stand is kind of covering her.
They put a little stand to cover her.
It seems like
in front of her.
It seems like it is the insinuation. So she's sitting there, Diddy's sitting next
Why
to
would
her,
she
and then
settle
Meek
for
is sitting
that?
next to Diddy. And Puff had leaned forward to talk to someone, say hi or whatever. So I turned over to...
For everybody in the chat, if you happen to be a woman or if you a guy, if a person that you dating got clout or they got like a name or they famous or something like that, would you settle for less? Cause she at a place and they got like, they literally covering up the fact that she actually dating him. Like, that's crazy to me. But I feel like whenever people famous, people willing to go for less. Like, people be like, well, he famous, he got money, so like, I guess it ain't that bad. But it's like, bro, why though? Like, do you care that much? He can't be talking? Like, bro, like, that's crazy. So he publicly dating Cassie and you just sitting there in the background? Like, that's crazy to me. Like,
next to Diddy. And Puff had leaned forward to talk to someone, say hi or whatever. So I turned over to Meek to say happy birthday. He put out his hand. I reached over to take his hand and shake it. As I shook Meek's hand, Puff turned around, saw it. He got so mad. We probably stayed 20 minutes after that happened. And when we got in the car, he like grabbed my hair and cussed me out for doing that. He was like, why the f*** are you shaking his hand for? I was just like, I'm saying happy birthday. So it was like a jealous rage. I think he thought I was trying to be sneaky behind his back because like I reached over when he leaned forward to talk to someone. So he thought I was trying to be sneaky.
I'm
how, yeah.
The dude is like this level.
Yeah, if he
of
see
fame
this
and
video,
success
I'm
and
done for it,
that
nigga.
insecure about everything. Wow, so pathetic.
Yeah, exactly. And the interviewer was
gonna blow my
asking, and
car
you
up.
were how old at this time? He's like double her age. She says I was 22 probably. So when we get to the hotel, it gets worse. He like took one of my heels and tried to throw it at me. He like mushed my face really hard, made my nose bleed. And every time, you know, we get into fights like that, which side note, if this allegation is true, that is not a fight. That's a one-sided domestic battery charge. That's not a fight. She says the only person that ever tried to help me was D-Rock.
D-Rock.
Who is, I believe, a famous musician. Everyone else just allowed it to happen and just like looked the other way. So the rest of everyone, they would just watch. Well, not like watch, just like kind of walk away and just leave us alone and not really step in to stop it.
Pussy ass niggas.
Now, what made you stay? Because obviously there's baby number 2. because she claims that she had 2 pregnancies he made her terminate. Because I just
What the fuck? What the fuck?
He was only being like that because he loved me.
Yo.
And she says, I grew up...
Hold up. My bad. I don't know what happened. We good.
She says, the only person that ever tried to help me was D-Rock, who is, I believe, a famous musician. Everyone else just allowed it to happen and just like looked the other way. So the rest of everyone, they would just watch. Well, not like watch, just like kind of walk away and just leave us alone and not really step in to stop it. Now, what made you stay? Because obviously there's baby number 2, because she claims that she had 2 pregnancies he made her terminate. Because I just thought that he was only being like that because he loved me. And she starts crying in this portion. And she says, I grew up watching my mom get beat by my dad. That's all I knew. So I just thought it was normal. I just thought it meant he loved me. Okay, let's talk about baby number 2. When did baby 2 come? Last year, August 2018. So this is 6 years of them being together at this point. She says, mind you, it wasn't my fault that I got pregnant because I have like this period app and it tells me when I'm ovulating and stuff. So I told him that I'm ovulating, so don't do it. And he just did it anyways. And then I got pregnant.
Don't
and
tell
he's like,
him.
okay, then just get a termination. He didn't even hesitate. She says, but by this time it was harder for me because I'd been with him for so long and I was like really in love. Part of me wanted to keep it, but he didn't. And I had only agreed to terminating because he told me to. And
Bro, it really hurts me in my heart when people equate love and trauma together, bro. Like, you grew up in a traumatic situation, so you like think that love is traumatic. It gotta be a roller coaster. It gotta be exciting. It gotta be crazy. It gotta be... No, bro. Don't tell this nigga that you ovulate and then he wanna do it to you. You should have seen that shit. But because of the way you grew up, my bad. Because of the way you grew up, because you grew up with trauma, now it's like, bro, damn, shit. Like, damn, that actually pissed me off. Because he know what he was doing. But because you done grew up with trauma, you, like, oblivious. Like, oh my gosh.
he took me to Turks and Caicos a couple days later before the termination. So right before the termination, he takes her to Turks and Caicos. And during that time, he was just giving me like alcoholic drinks to drink. And I was like, I'm not that comfortable. And he was just like, you're going to get an abortion anyway. He was kind of being distant towards me the whole trip anyway. She alleges that they come home from their trip on Sunday and the plan was to get the termination on Monday. She says when they get back on Sunday, quote, he had left me to go meet up with Cassie. So he just kind of like left me there for like half the day. And I was like, how are you going to leave me when you want me to do this thing tomorrow? He was obviously just making excuses on why he had to go. So because he left on Sunday, I was like, I'm not doing it tomorrow though. I'm not going to terminate tomorrow. I just need some time to think about it. So I told him that I just need time to think about it. And he was like, well, then you can't leave my house. Like just being mean to me. He was like, I did this and this and this for you. And you told me you were going to do this and now you're not doing it anymore. Like you can't get out of my house. She states she got the termination, but quote, not only that, I had to go home 2 days later because he had to go on a trip to Burning Man. So I had to go through that and he went to Burning Man and he just left me f***ed up and he didn't even, and you know, you don't get cell service in Burning Man because it's a desert. So I couldn't even get a hold of.
What the fuck is Burning Man? I've never heard this place in my life.
His texts weren't even coming through.
Like
I was just at home by myself, just f***ed up in the head and he didn't even care. Like it was just me. If he had to do something that traumatic for me, I wouldn't just leave him and go on a trip.
This is on a public interview?
Yeah.
And people didn't care when that happened.
Nah, that's
She
crazy.
also talks about
If this happened in 2024, this shit would have been all over TikTok like crazy.
another time Diddy was abusive. And she says, the other time was when he caught me texting another man. It was in Miami. It got really crazy at that time. We were upstairs. We were in his closet and he pushed me and I fell to the ground. He stood over me. So I was like laying on my back. He stood over me and he started punching me on the sides of my head. Like just on both sides, she describes. And I was just like covering my face. After he got done doing that, because he was like standing over me, he like stomped on my stomach really hard. It took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe, but he kept hitting me. I was like pleading with him, can you stop? Can you stop? I can't breathe. He stopped for a little bit, then he grabbed my hair from the back and was punching the back of my head. And he was just avoiding my face when he was hitting me. The next big fight we got into at that point, I was fighting back because I had just had enough of his shit. And he kept pushing my buttons, and I was just trying to calm the situation down before it got worse. And he kept pushing me and pushing me. I left his bedroom and went to his guest house because he has like a separate guest house. Now, side note, again, if the allegations here are true, she states the guest house has a meditation room, which is just, people think it's ironic. He followed me there and he continued talking shit to me, and I just got to the point where I was just so angry, and I took a bottle of De Leon tequila, smashed it on the ground, and he was like, "You did that bitch at my house with my kids here?" I ran out of the meditation room. He chased after me, pushed me onto the ground outside, took my hair and was dragging me across the grass with my hair. After that, a couple hours later, it was the weekend, so we had people coming over, and he just acted like nothing happened. He was dancing, laughing, talking to me like we didn't just get into a physical fight. It was always
This man actually psychologically messed up in the head. I'm not gonna lie.
Pull with him. He wanted to pull me close to him and push me away at the same time, which confused me, and it just hurts. She also alleges that he was cheating quite a bit throughout all of this. He would just tell her that it's just her and Cassie, but she always found him texting other people. She claims that—
Wait, what? This is why I asked y'all earlier if y'all would, like, if somebody had money and status and all of that stuff, would you turn a blind eye, or like how would you deal with it? So he was openly admitting that it was him, Cassie, and you. You was literally like just sitting there dealing with not only abuse but cheating? I don't understand. Like, I done been low key, like, and it's not even like high key cheating. It's been like super low key. I had to find out that the girl was messing with somebody, and it hurt me so deep that like I can't even date nobody. Like, how could you deal with that? How could you, like, I don't understand. Like, I genuinely don't. And maybe I don't understand because this girl, she done been through some trauma in her family life with her actual parents. But like, I don't understand how a nigga could tell you to your fucking face, like, the upright, most disrespectful, and like tell you that he dealing with somebody else to your face? I don't understand that. Like, I can't wrap my head around it, genuinely. Like, I don't think I could ever put myself in that position to be like, oh, somebody messing with somebody else, but I'm cool with it. No. What the fuck? Nah, hell no.
That his nanny even texted him naked photos.
There's no amount of money, no amount of nothing.
Or at least that's what she claims she found. Unclear if the photos were coerced or not, but even so, very alarming considering the power dynamic, right? But I digress. She finds pictures of the nanny naked on his phone, according to her allegations, and she claims that he doesn't even feel guilty or ashamed. He just says, well, what do you expect? You're f***ing with a superstar.
What?
She also claims that
no. Nigga. A nigga or a bitch could never tell me this shit. I heard a nigga motherfucking feelings in this motherfucker. What? You ain't even, Diddy ain't even got no body that's like nice. Nigga not even fit. I would have been like, nigga, you need to get in the gym. You built like a motherfucking jello pool, nigga. Fuck wrong with you, nigga? What? And I grew up in the South. I heard a motherfucker feelings. Nigga, your face built like a motherfucking tortilla, nigga. Fuck wrong with you, nigga? Your motherfucking beard patchy as a motherfucker. I thought this motherfucker was a motherfucking grass field that ain't been watered. Fuck wrong with you, nigga? The fuck? Nigga, what? Nigga couldn't talk to me like that. Hell no.
Well, what do you expect? You're f***ing with a superstar.
A superstar.
She also claims that he once hit her in front of her child. So she has a child from a previous relationship. Her daughter was 3 years old at the time. But she states he never abuses women in front of his children because he doesn't want them to see him like that.
Really?
That's the allegation, but it does seem kind of to track. In Cassie's lawsuit 4 years later, she alleges that once she was, quote, healing and being trapped in Diddy's LA house to heal from her injuries that he gave her, he FaceTimes her because he's out of town and instructs her, quote, you got to go up and put more makeup on. My son can't see you like that. Because I guess her bruising was showing. These are the allegations that Gina put forth on a podcast in 2019. Many netizens think that the whole story got buried by Diddy, and soon after the podcast, I think a lot of people didn't take it as seriously because she goes back to Diddy. which started some online drama between her and Young Miami of City Girls, who was reportedly dating Diddy at the time. Gina would later write on social media, "He's just a really good longtime friend of mine, nothing more, nothing less. Like, I just want him to be happy because like he did bless me in a lot of ways and I'm always going to be forever grateful and respect him." Which, just to clarify, this is not to say that what she said was not the truth, which I'm not saying it is or not. These are her allegations. I'm just stating.
Bro, when multiple people have the same like view of one person, I can't believe that it's a lie. She got on the podcast and said this shit. Cassie said this shit. Rumors all around the industry said this shit. I can't believe that this is a lie, bro. Like, I can't. In my heart of hearts, I can't believe this. Because there's no way people just want to attack you. Like, and I've seen some stuff online where people attack a certain person. But it's like, bro, like, people in the industry literally saying this about you. Like, people that you directly worked with that said this about you. I don't know. It seemed fishy to me. Keep in mind, this is supposed to be alleged, but I'm sitting here thinking, like, these are people who actually in the industry all saying this about one person.
Stating that two things can be true at the same time. She could have been physically, mentally, emotionally abused, and she could have still gone back to Diddy. Like, it's not, yeah. So all of these things, people are bringing it up because there's a small group of unhinged people being like, Cassie just wants money. But people are like, well, actually, the signs were there. Like, look at all these things. But it's not until CNN posts hotel surveillance footage that people realize Cassie was likely telling the truth the whole time about everything, and there's probably a lot more that we don't know.
Yeah.
The footage is from 2016 at an Intercontinental Hotel in LA. In the security footage of the hotel hallway, you see Cassie quickly walking out of the hotel room. She's wearing this big oversized hoodie. She's barefoot and she's holding a bunch of things in her arms, and it's clear that she's in a rush to leave.
Bro, barefoot is the biggest red flag ever. You walking in a hotel barefoot?
Hotel hallway. You see Cassie quickly walking out of the hotel room. She's wearing this big oversized hoodie. She's barefoot and she's holding a bunch of things in her arms, and it's clear that she's in a rush to leave. She quickly walks towards the elevators, but seconds later, Diddy comes running out of the room with nothing but a towel around his waist. He runs out down the hallway, grabs her by the back of her hood, throws her onto the ground, and starts kicking her. Cassie is just laying on the floor while he kicks her, and she's in a fetal position. Diddy grabs the back of her hood.
How did this nigga do this all in so... Bro! This low-key aggravated me, bro. How did he do that so quick? Bro, he taking advantage of somebody who don't even got the capacity to fight back, bro.
Out down the hallway, grabs her by the back of her hood, throws her onto the ground, and starts kicking her. Cassie is just laying on the floor while he kicks her, and she's in a fetal position. Diddy grabs the back of her hood and starts dragging her back towards the hotel. He also grabs her bags that were dropped, and it appears that Cassie is crying out for help. Perhaps worried that someone would investigate, he lets Cassie go, but takes all of her belongings into the hotel room. She goes back to the elevator to try and get the elevator, but he comes back, shoves her down, and throws a vase at her from a nearby table, like a glass vase.
In GTA, I would have murdered this nigga. On camera, no fucks given, bro. I couldn't have been put through all of this shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if God blessed me with such a spirit that I just can't deal with disrespect. There's no way this nigga could have did this to me. Even if, thank you for the sub, even if this nigga is dangerous, I'm not gonna lie. Even if this nigga is like the John Wick of the universe, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I couldn't deal with the disrespect. Like, my spirit can't even take that shit, bro. This nigga could not possibly disrespect me to this level. Nigga ran out in a fucking towel. At minimum, I would have took the towel off that nigga. At minimum, I would have took the towel off that nigga. Even if I was struggling for my life. Boy, I would have murdered this nigga, man. In GTA. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell no. I couldn't take the disrespect, bro. Woman or man. It's no way. The vessel that God blessed me with, the spirit that God blessed me with, woman or male, this nigga would not have been able to do this shit to me. It don't matter what this nigga would have been able to show me. It could have been Adolf Hitler in this motherfucker, boy. This nigga would have had a fucking fight with me. This nigga would have had to kill me, boy. What? Nigga, This shit pissing me off. Nigga in a hotel on the cameras, nigga. I know the camera's recording. Boy, what? I don't care how much money this nigga got or what. Nigga, it would have been a scuff on that camera. Whoever's surveilling this, whoever up in the office looking at this video, that nigga would have had a motherfucking WWE show in that motherfucker. What you mean, boy? What? Nigga, they would have thought this was motherfucking prime time. What? They would have thought this motherfucking Blu-ray, nigga. What do you mean? Nigga, I would never let no motherfucker disrespect me like this, nigga. I gotta go down fighting for my motherfucking life. Boy, what? I would have been in that motherfucker, a motherfucking jug in the purse or something, nigga. What? Even if it was just a fist, we would have been in that motherfucker, squared the motherfucker up. I would have been locked in like Prime Mike Tyson in that motherfucker. What? But I couldn't let nobody disrespect me like this. And you've been disrespecting me for years and years and years. Nigga, the anger would have been so built up, I would have thought I was in the motherfucking anime. I would have been in that motherfucker powered up. Motherfucking what? Hell no. I would have murdered. I would have hurt that nigga bad.
And it is exactly as she has it.
You got a towel on? I'm kicking at the testicles and all types of crazies. You would have had fear in your eyes at the sight of me.
Listed in her lawsuit. So the lawsuit comes out in November of 2023. The footage is released in 2024. So people are like, she literally details this assault exactly like the footage.
So how is the footage not came out in 2016?
He paid the hotel security worker $50,000 in cash, allegedly.
Only $50,000?
Yes.
But they still.
But
I think
I gotta get a worker some grace. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta get a worker some grace because you gotta keep in mind this motherfucker working at a hotel. This motherfucker working at a hotel, he might be getting $15, $14, maybe $10 an hour. Somebody offered him $50,000. You can't sell your morals for money. I ain't gonna lie. You see this type of shit? And even though I say this, I know it's people out there that bill gotta get paid. That $50,000 is gonna stretch a long ass way. And I won't disrespect those people because I know whenever you in the struggle, nigga might be struggling to eat. You know what I'm saying? Nigga might not be able to go home for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? He might miss out on a lot of memories, so that $50,000 is a nice bribe. But with somebody getting abused, kicked, hurt, no, bro. You can't abandon your... And that's why I feel like, when it comes to religion and stuff like that, that's why stuff like that is important. Because whenever you're religious, it's like you can't abandon your morals for money. I feel like you could be a good person and not be religious and still not abandon your morals for money. But I feel like when somebody is genuinely actually religious, not no fake religious, but when somebody genuinely actually religious, it's to the point to where they can't abandon their morals for money. And when somebody ain't got shit to lose and money on the line, they gonna choose that money every time. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know who else has copies. I imagine if someone like that is willing to take $50,000 to not release it or call the police, he probably took a copy of his own. So who knows how many copies are truly out there.
The hotel has it still, right? He probably still had it.
Okay, the hotel was owned by a big hotel company, and they state that hotel is no longer under their management, and they don't have any files from them. So they're saying we didn't leak this in 2024.
Nigga, so you had a hotel under your management and you decided, I'm gonna just get rid of that one hotel? Y'all fucking lying. Y'all fucking bullshit. And I know companies be bullshit too. Because companies could be ambiguous. It's not like a personal brand. If I get caught in some shit, the brand is me. A hotel company owning another hotel? Boy, y'all fucking lying. Like, come on, bro.
So
this was leaked by somebody.
It's unclear how CNN got this footage, and this becomes a whole thing because Diddy's attorneys are later going to allege that the government gave it to CNN. It's a whole thing. But it is exactly as Cassie has it listed in her lawsuit. She explains what happens afterwards, even though it's not captured on footage, or at least the released footage. Her attorney states, Cassie managed to get into the elevator, and when she got to the lobby, quickly took a cab to her apartment. Upon realizing that her running away would cause Mr. Combs to be even angrier with her, and completely stuck in this vicious cycle of abuse, Ms. Ventura returned to the hotel with the intention of apologizing for running away from her abuser. The lawsuit states, in or around March 2016, during that FO at the Intercontinental Hotel Century City, LA, Mr. Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Ms. Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye. After he fell asleep, she tried to leave the hotel room. As she exited, he woke up and began screaming at her. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. He grabbed at her and then took the glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her, causing glass to crash around them as she ran to escape in the elevator. So I feel like the lawsuit...
Bro, I don't know if my pride's just too big. Somebody throwing a vase at me, like the level of disrespect so high that I just couldn't, bro. Like, you had the audacity to throw a vase at me, but we gotta keep in mind that she done dealt with essay and all this extra stuff. Like, her willpower just that so low because this nigga is so dirty that it's just like, you know, I can't put myself in her shoes because I ain't never been in her shoes type shit. I ain't even gonna disrespect her like, you know? I'm gonna give her grace for real.
Lawsuit doesn't even really describe it, how bad it is. I'm not saying it's intentionally downplayed, but it almost downplays it compared to the footage. So think about everything else that's downplayed.
Exactly.
So with the video being released, Cassie's attorney made a statement stating, the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Ms. Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. Once this footage is leaked, all these other clips start going viral. I think people are trying to see if they could have seen the clues. The Met Gala interview from 2015 has gone viral.
Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna keep playing the video. One of my roommates at the door. Hold up.
Viral. And at the time, nobody really noticed, but Diddy and Cassie are being interviewed by Andre Talley, and she walks up to shake his hand. Diddy gives her the most insane death glare, and then very aggressively wraps his arm around her waist and pulls her in. And her whole body seems to tense.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to see 3 a.m.
He does not seem happy at all during the interview and even puts his hand on the interviewer's shoulder in a comforting way, but it feels slightly threatening in hindsight. One netizen comments, he snatched her waist and I also saw the way he looked at her. This is pure control. If she stayed with him any longer, she might not be alive to tell anyone or file a civil lawsuit. The look he gave her for even shaking another man's hand, Diddy is gonna have plenty of more women coming out of the woodwork. He's a monster.
Wait.
Then in 2017, they're back at the Met Gala. They're interviewed by Andre again. And it appears that she's reaching her hand out to shake his hand, but pulls back awkwardly while he appreciates her dress. She seems incredibly reserved this time. Like she doesn't even want anyone to focus on her or her dress. And in comparison to the last Met Gala, where she approached Andre, shook his hand, this time she just waits in the back for Diddy to almost let her walk.
Bro, I don't know if this is just ominous or what. Why does her purse look like a skull? Am I tripping? I know I missed a little bit, but it ain't that much. I had the headphones on. I kind of heard what was going on. What the hell? Bro.
One netizen comments, he snatched her waist and I also saw the way he looked at her. This is pure control. If she stayed with him any longer, she might not be alive to tell anyone or file a civil lawsuit.
That nigga is
the look he gave her for even shaking another man's hand, Diddy is gonna have plenty of more women coming out of the woodwork. He's a monster. Then in 2017, they're back at the Met Gala. They're interviewed by Andre again. And it appears that she's reaching her hand out to shake his hand, but pulls back awkwardly while he appreciates her dress. She seems incredibly reserved this time. Like she doesn't even want anyone to focus on her or her dress. And in comparison to the last Met Gala, where she approached Andre, shook his hand, this time she just waits in the back for Diddy to almost let her walk up and show off her dress.
Hardest working man in showbiz. Is this your avant-garde moment?
Yeah. This is it. This is
Bro. Chat, let me know if I'm tripping. Shirt tail And it's not even that the shirt is untucked. Shirt tail untucked is automatically a red flag. But the fact that it's a dress shirt, whatever a dress shirt is untucked, that let me know it's an issue. I just got here and I see the diddler on my screen. Yeah, we checking Rotten Mango Diddy cases out. This man got a dress shirt untucked.
Fearlessness. This is
The next Met Gala clip that goes viral is the next year, 2018, the year they break up. The theme is heavenly bodies, fashion, and the Catholic imagination. So Liza Koshy was asking each attendee the same question. Is there anything you'd like to confess tonight? Playing into the theme. But when she asks Cassie, a lot of netizens have pointed out, Diddy gives her a death glare once again. She stammers for about half a second before putting her hands into a prayer and saying, I keep everything here, right here, or right here. And she points at herself and Diddy.
She says she keep everything right here between him and her and Diddy?
Yeah, or like her and prayers, God, I guess. But it's just the way that Diddy looks at her when they ask this question, and the way that she kind of, it
And
seems like she appears nervous and stressed about the question.
Confess tonight before you go in.
This nigga really got the audacity to have a cross on his chest.
Everything right here. There you go. Or right here.
There you go.
One comment reads, when she asks Cassie if there's anything she wants to confess, Diddy is giving Cassie the death stare and Cassie hesitates, as if she's afraid to respond with the wrong thing. It's sad to see that she was that scared. Others have pointed out that Diddy is standing there in all white with crosses on while she's going through the most demonic shit. Even after the breakup went public, Diddy posts on Instagram a screenshot of the Michael Jackson song, The Lady in My Life, and he captions it, if anyone sees Cassie this weekend, please tell her to listen to this song 100 times. Now, some people believe, there are theories that maybe this was a song played during freak-offs or something that's not actually meaningful. Notable lyrics include 2 hearts and a beat of ecstasy, come to me girl and I will keep you warm, stay with me, I want you to stay with me, I need you by my side, don't you go nowhere. Even after everything he did to her, he still has the audacity to publicly try to do this and talk to her. It feels like a threat. Another friend of Cassie's comes out to state that Diddy gave Cassie a black eye the night before her Perfect movie premiere in 2016, where she's the main female lead, which has everyone digging up those clips again. And in an interview at the premiere for that movie, an interviewer makes this kind of normal statement where she says, you and Terrence, your your co-star, the male lead, the love interest in the movie, I mean, you guys were definitely believable.
No, we're friends at the end of the day. And that is very awkward when you're just friends with somebody and you're not in love. But
netizens have commented that you can see bruising on her face while she's answering these questions. It's unclear if it's the lighting or if there are bruises there. But others have also pointed out how she answered the question by the interviewer. They think it's just odd. Now, side note, in another interview, Cassie talks about how Terrence, her co-star, was nervous for their slightly scene in the movie because, quote, he was super nervous because he knows Puff, and I think they had a conversation and Puff was just like, make it believable. It's awkward as hell when you're not in love with somebody and you have to do something like that. The interviewer jokes that perhaps Terrence messed up the scene on purpose so he could redo it all over again, and to which Cassie's co-star, another female guest that was on this podcast, she responds, don't get Terrence hurt now. And I think it was all a joke, but it's all people are bringing up in hindsight.
That's, yeah.
A lot of netizens have also pointed out that it's kind of strange that Cassie has to keep mentioning to the world that it's uncomfortable doing these scenes with someone you're not in love with. I mean, that's acting. It's nothing new. No. Some believe it's a reference to the freak-offs that she did not want. Like, you don't want to do this with people you're not in love with. Others believe it's her desperately trying to tame the very violent, very jealous Diddy because she's scared for her safety. Or maybe even Terrence's safety and his car. In another interview for the same movie, which was released a year or two before their final breakup, the interviewer asks her if she thinks it's okay to keep a relationship a secret.
It depends on where the relationship goes. If it's something that you didn't want to share and it's your secret, it's your secret. I do believe in karma if you're hurting people, but...
In another interview about the same movie, she's asked about how she feels about Diddy being at the premiere, watching her and Terrence because they have scenes. They say, your boyfriend's going to sit down next to you and you and Terrence are. What does that feel like?
Bro.
It's work.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the media be so weird sometimes, bro. Like, why do y'all want to know everything? Like, Cassie just got done with his subathon, and he in Turks and Caicos, I'm pretty sure, and people literally like trying to find out who his girlfriend is because a certain other girl who is somewhat famous is in Turks and Caicos. It's like, why y'all can't have people have their privacy? And it's like, in this situation, it's good that they was kind of a little invasive, because now we kind of seeing why they commented the way they was and stuff like that. But at the exact same time, it's like, who is behind the scenes doing all of this extra investigative bullshit? Let people live their life. Like, bro, it's like, I don't know. I find it kind of weird that people like go out their way when people like famous to find out the stuff that behind the scenes, like literally like investigators online. Like, I don't understand that. Like, do you not have a job, a 9 to 5 or something? Like, how do you have time in your life to worry about your life, your family life, and then random people on the internet's life? I don't understand that. It's crazy. It really is crazy. Like,
it feels, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of anxiety.
Like, mind your business? That's what I'm saying.
You know, Puff has been so understanding with everything, so it's good.
But people have said it feels a little odd in hindsight.
Like,
not that the interviewer's question
and the crazy
was
thing
odd.
is, eventually I want to do like relationship content, but I don't think I actually want to be in a genuine relationship and do content based on the genuine relationship. I just think it would be fun to do like couples pranks and things along those lines. But it's like, even in K-pop, it's like, why are people so possessive of people they don't know? I don't understand that. And like, part of me understand it because it's like, you kind of want to have control over something that you put your time and effort into. But at the exact same time, why don't y'all view people who famous as people? I don't understand that. Like, why do you look at somebody like Jungkook or Youngboy as a person? It's weird to me. Like, why are you so invested that their life kind of become more important than your own life? How is somebody else's life more important than your own life? I don't understand that. Like, I react to videos, but I promise you, when I'm not reacting to videos, I'm worried about my life. I'm worried about Vex. I'm worried about me, bro. Like, it's crazy. I don't understand, like, the world sometimes.
But just in hindsight of Diddy watching the freak-offs, and the same thing with the movie. She's asked about her boyfriend Diddy as well. You know, what makes you guys work? She responds, I think that what makes any relationship work, if it's working, you know, just not talking about it too much, just keeping it close to your heart.
That feels like has a lot of dual meanings.
Yes. Because people are saying, if it's working, not talking too much. Others have just pointed to another interview to show how much power Diddy has in the industry. The interviewer says, I mean, look, there's no way around it. You're Diddy's girlfriend. He's a marquee name. He's one of the richest guys in our culture, hip hop, richest guy in the world, honestly, one of them. And I'm sure you being your own person, it's pretty hard to navigate a relationship with someone like Diddy. Cassie does state it's hard because nobody associates her with music anymore, but more so just Diddy's girlfriend. But she still has that core group of fans that are just asking for more and more music, and it's difficult because, you know, she loves music and she's working on it. People have also taken apart a video Cassie uploaded, a music video released 1 year before their breakup. It's titled Cassie, a short film where she alludes to a toxic relationship, and she says he's like an aggravating high. Like the high you want to go away, but you never want to go away. It creeps up on you, has you do some crazy shit you would never do, and then it leaves you in the middle of the night. In it, she has a line that says, I just want to be free. And in the end of the short film, she drives off from the toxic relationship by herself, and she's standing in the desert with her arms outstretched, to which people allude and think it's her spreading her wings. She does state in an interview that this short film was really important for her because she was involved in every creative aspect of it. Furthermore, because hindsight is 2020 and eye-opening, a lot of people have pointed to the fact that it's crazy how nobody knew what was going on behind closed doors, because after their final breakup, there was a whole TV segment on whether or not Cassie should go back to Diddy. People were commenting about how they break up every single year and it seems like Cassie is just really looking for that ring. She wants to get married. They also state that Diddy is posting on Instagram about how much he wants her back and it's so romantic. Again, they clearly don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but a lot of people have pointed out just to say,
people too fucking invested. That's all it is, bro. Like, come on, bro. Get a life.
we truly don't know the private lives of these celebrities. Even other celebrities don't know sometimes. But all these clips start getting brought back up and
Let
making
people
its
live.
rounds online. Oh, along with a picture that has been circulating that's rumored to be Cassie wearing sunglasses. And she has a busted forehead, busted lip. This is while she's dating Diddy. But she said that Dubai was crazy. Like her trip to Dubai was crazy.
Bro, nobody could possibly post that clip with a busted ass lip and saying Dubai is crazy and me not be kind of confused and worried. She got a busted ass lip and a fucking band-aid on her fucking forehead, nigga.
And it was quickly deleted from her Instagram.
What does that mean? Dubai is crazy.
I think she was insinuating she tripped and got hurt, or it was just so crazy she was
Hell
drunk.
no. Hell
She
no.
was having too much fun. But a lot of people think that it was the abuse. And this was her way of trying to maybe even test the waters and hope that people would be like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, is she being hit or something? Now, all these clips, they start being brought back up and making its rounds online, including the interrogation of Jonathan Odie, the man from the Trump Hotel who claims to have been a for Diddy because he was saying everything about the freak-offs before Cassie's lawsuit.
Who is this guy?
He is a worker. It seems that a lot of netizens believe he has association with Diddy and Cassie. He likely was a worker that engaged in the freak-offs. He likely was paid off. Some people think that maybe he tried to blackmail Diddy for money. Some people think that Diddy hired PIs to follow him. And it just kickstarted this paranoia in probably an already slightly unwell mind. And it spiraled into him creating all these crazy conspiracies to make sense of everything.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm sure the drug usage didn't help.
Yeah,
Many
facts.
netizens believe that he was telling the truth. They comment, 2018, this man is crazy. 2024, wow, he was telling the truth. Another comments, this is why I don't write people off as crazy immediately.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like something that people don't really realize, and I think this is the thing with all like drugs, regardless of like whether it's weed, alcohol or whatever it is. I feel like all of these like substances that alter your mind in some type of way, shape, or form, they all kind of have this like looming effect, and it's probably not like a lifelong effect or something like that, but I feel like they all kind of have this effect where it kind of like mess up your perception of the world, and it's not like you kind of know it, it's kind of like subductive on your mind, and people don't realize that, but it is true. And as somebody who used to do a little bit of gas, I will say that it is true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe for me, but I feel like some people don't realize it, that it do kind of have that, whether it make you too relaxed or it do have that effect. I feel like it is important to just be sober, I don't feel like it's a problem for people to indulge in stuff from time to time, but I feel like having a sober mind is important. Very important, actually. Come on, my video need to play, bro.
This guy had no reason to lie, and his story from 6 years ago is consistent with what we're hearing today. Another reads, this is why I get mad when people ask victims, why did you wait until now to say something? People have been saying something for many years and they were called crazy, ignored, not believed, and nothing was done about it. That man has gotten away with destruction for years because of this. I believe every word Jonathan has said. Some just comment, what if those bottles of baby oil are laced with liquid cocaine? Others state, yeah, he might have been saying some unhinged things about like the government and stuff, but who knows if that's even true, right? Maybe. But some parts must be true, and perhaps he lost his mind because of the incidents involving Diddy. I don't think he's a nutbag. I think he went into a state of psychosis triggered by drugs, and he was paranoid because of Puff Daddy's handlers were following him, harassing him, and threatening him. Others don't believe a single thing Jonathan says. They say lies on top of lies on top of lies. Diddy does officially come out to respond to the hotel footage that was revealed by CNN. He states now in a since deleted Instagram video, Remember, this man goes from, these are baseless, outrageous lies, to,
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest.
Why the fuck he sound like that? He sound like a motherfucking AI.
to,
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that.
This look like
I was
acting.
fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
You know what this actually look like? I was saying that this sound like acting. This look like acting. But this sound like somebody who is deeply in delusion and actually believe what he's saying. Remorseful, but not actually remorseful. If he was put in the same position, he would do the same bullshit again. But looking at the camera, and if he's acting as if, like he's playing the character as if he was actually remorseful. He's playing Diddy as if he actually got caught in a situation where he was abusing Cassie. Genuinely playing the part of, and some people might be like, how could you do that? But it's actually not that hard to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to sound like somebody who's crazy. I'm just coming from a person who is a creative and I know how acting goes. Whenever you think of that person and you try to put yourself in that perspective, I see where this perspective is coming from. He actually believed that he's sorry, even though he's not sorry. And he would definitely do this again. This is crazy. This man crazy for real. Like, he actually mentally messed up. Like, he knew how to put on a face.
Man goes from, these are baseless, outrageous lies, to,
it's crazy.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom.
And some people believe this.
I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted.
That's crazy.
I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
You say this your like first impression of P. Diddy? This is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I can see how this would be really, really bad as your first impression. And you also got to keep in mind that the people who grew up watching him and knew him, you know what I'm saying? Think of some people who you know who you don't have a bad impression of. And then something crazy like this come out. This is exactly how them people feel. To the point that where like they don't know how to feel. I feel like I didn't grow up on P. Diddy. I grew up in like, I was born in 2000, so like, I didn't grow up on P. Diddy, but I know that P. Diddy is an influential figure. But I know that this is too crazy to believe that this man is innocent. He definitely done did some shit. I'm looking at this man's face right now, literally paused. I didn't try to pause right here, but literally paused. And this is the face of a man who is like, I'm tired of living this life, but I'm so deep in it that I can't go back. Tell me you're not looking at this man and thinking that he's tired of living this lifestyle, but he's so deep in it that he can't go back. This is the look of a man who is like, damn, I done did so much bullshit, but like, this is me now. I can't like just stop doing this. Everybody around me see me as this person. This is sad. He needs some actual help. Had some of my favorite YouTubers cancel for a while. Yeah. I feel you. Yeah, this man needs some actual help. Not gonna lie. Play the video.
I went and I sought out professional help. Got to go into therapy, go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
which a source who knows Diddy says about his comment about hitting rock bottom. Rock bottom must be his personality. I've never not seen this person. Netizens have commented, he did not hit rock bottom. He hit Cassie repeatedly until she was a shell of a woman.
Damn.
Other comments read, if he's this brazen and brutal in a hotel hallway, just imagine how evil he is behind closed doors.
Yeah,
I'm more scared of what hasn't been caught on camera. When someone says, why didn't you leave? Remember this video. Cassie was leaving, or at least she was trying to.
Yeah.
The fact that the hotel security accepted a $50,000 payoff to hand the footage over to the abuser instead of calling the police to attempt to help this woman is disturbing and disgraceful.
Bro,
others just point out, wait, weeks ago he said the accusers were liars, and now this video gets dropped and he takes...
Let me know y'all's opinion on this in the comment section below. I feel like people shouldn't be expected to be rewarded for doing the right thing. But if you stumble upon $1 million and the cops, and you turn that money into the cops, I feel like you should get a percentage of that money. Am I tripping to think that? If you have a situation like this where somebody offers you $50,000 and you turn this shit into the cops, I feel like you should get a little bit of money, a little bit of respect for actually doing the right thing. But whenever you do turn stuff in like that to the cops, they be like, oh, okay, thank you for being a good person. Now go on to your broke ass life. Like that's how they... Am I tripping for thinking that? I genuinely do feel like if you come across $100,000 and you give it to the police, they should break you off at least $10,000. That's not even a lot. Like, come on, bro. Like, give to the people who actually being good people. But people who be good people in a situation where they could take advantage of the money or the situation, they don't get anything other than just being a good person. And it's like, bro, like even though I'm a good person and I would do the right thing in a situation, what the fuck happened to my shit? What the fuck? Bro, we was literally in the middle of a video.
Caught on camera.
Okay. I raged for a little. I raged for no reason, but y'all get what I'm saying. Oh, you skip ads on YouTube? YouTube? Yeah, I got YouTube Premium.
When someone says, why didn't you leave? Remember this video. Cassie was leaving, or at least she was trying to.
My
the
bad
fact
for
that
the
the hotel
rage, by the
security
way.
accepted a $50,000 payoff to hand the footage over to the abuser instead of calling the police to attempt to help this woman is disturbing and disgraceful. Others just point out, wait, weeks ago he said the accusers were liars, and now this video gets dropped and he takes full responsibility. Others just ominously write, you can apologize and you can repent, but the crime you committed, you still have to pay for it.
True.
Additionally, in a since taken down Instagram post, Misa Hilton, one of the mothers of Diddy's children, she's the mother of 30-year-old Justin Combs. She's actually known Diddy since she was a teenager. Yeah, she addresses the...
Bro, this weave is crazy. This weave that she got in her head is crazy. She need to fight the actual person who put this shit in her head. I ain't gonna lie, bro. And I'm not one of them people who like, oh, if you get a weave as a black woman, like that's weird or nothing like that. Bro, whoever put this bullshit in her fucking head, you need to scrap with her ass. Cause my laptop shitty valid.
footage. She says, I am heartbroken that Cassie must relive the horror of her abuse, and my heart goes out to her. I know exactly how she feels, and through my empathy, it has triggered my own trauma. He needs help, and I am praying that he truly does the personal work and receives it. Some netizens thought the statement was interesting. It seems like she's being careful with her words to not land herself in legal trouble, but netizens have also pointed out the fact that she said she's reliving her own trauma. Mm-hmm. Is that trauma that she had with other people or with Diddy? Mm-hmm. He needs to work on himself. Some interpret it as he needs to learn and grow from this, which could be interpreted as casual downplaying of a violent incident, or it could mean like lock him up in a psych ward. He needs help. Like, we got to do something.
Lock him up in a psych ward.
Tiffany Red, the friend who corroborated Cassie's version of events the night of the 29th birthday, states to Diddy, your abusive power has inflicted ongoing harm on countless individuals, including myself, my friends, and my peers. You are a literal pillar in Black music. So many of us looked up to you. This moment hurts for us too, but no one deserves to endure all of this. It's not right. You're hurting the very Black and brown people you say you love and support. It pains me to write this letter to you, Diddy, as a Black woman, but when will this cycle of abuse stop? It has to stop. Cassie's attorney states, Combs' most recent statement is more about himself than the many people he has hurt. When Cassie and multiple other people have come forward, he denied everything and suggested that his victims were looking for a payday. Then, he was only compelled to apologize once his repeated denials were proven false, and that shows his pathetic desperation, and no one will be swayed by his disingenuous words.
The Tiffany Red's message to Diddy, is that like a you say she wrote a letter.
An open letter to Rolling Stone, because at that point, there were some people that were not really believing Cassie or believing, yeah, well, you're only saying that now because you want money.
Got it. Okay.
Dang, she a real one.
And Tiffany Red said she's scared for her life. Yeah.
Damn.
When she wrote
I
that.
bet.
When she wrote that, she also stated that in some of the lawsuit verbiage, it's very clear that Tiffany Red is the friend that's cooperating for Cassie. So it seems like she actually went public also for safety.
Right. So just so everyone knows that she's
Yeah.
also a target, could be.
She said she doesn't go
That's
outside
crazy.
now. She's stopped making music. I mean, this has completely ruined her life.
Bruh.
Yeah. Cassie has also made her only public statement since her lawsuit about the matter. She writes, "The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now. But this is only the beginning. Domestic violence is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I'm better today, but I will always be recovering from my past. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in. I offer my hand to those who are still living in fear. Reach out to your people. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. The healing journey is never ending, but this support means everything to me. Thank you. Love always, Cassie." Her husband, Alex Fine, posted to Instagram, "A letter to women and children. Men who hit women aren't men. Men who enable it and protect those aren't men. As men, violence against women shouldn't be inevitable. Check your brothers, your friends, and your family. Our daughters, sisters, mothers, and wives should feel protected and loved. Hold the woman in your life with the utmost regard. Men who hurt women hate women. To all the survivors, find the men and women who help and love. To all the survivors, your stories are real and people believe you. To all the survivors, you are not alone."
I'm not gonna lie, I hate to pause it right here, but I feel like going on in the future, I might be, I might be wrong, or I might be ahead of my time, if I will say. I feel like going into the future, we gotta stop saying, I know this is a man versus woman situation, because literally a man was in the wrong and a woman was the victim. But I feel like going forward, whenever we address situations like this, I feel like it's going to be more important to talk to people. I feel like whenever, even though they trying to talk to people, they saying a man who put his hand on a woman is not a man. And it's like, obviously. Like, I feel like even though that's not obvious, I feel like a lot of men, especially the men who put their hands on women, they go overlook this. But if you actually get people on board to like canceling certain people instead of certain men, I feel like that's gonna be more helpful than canceling certain men or certain women. Because I feel like in today's times, we more so cancel like men, or we cancel certain type of women, but I feel like we need to be more specific with who we trying to target. We need to target certain types of people. Like, it's one thing to target racists, but it's another thing to target certain types of racist people. And we know what we're talking about. The covert racists. The people in the workplace who racist, but we kind of low-key guard them, but we don't guard them because we know that we talking about racists, but we don't want to be very, very specific and put them motherfuckers on a platform of their own. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for us to really target specifics. And it's like sometimes we target specifics, but it kind of get blurred. We kind of like, when a specific person go through a situation, we kind of put the target on all of the people who kind of like them, rather than this the type of person that we want to get rid of. And I kind of feel like that's why these types of people kind of leach out, and we get these random type of... You spitting, Vex? You get what I'm saying, Wilson? Like, sometimes it's hard for me to articulate myself, and I'm actually really good at articulating myself, but those of y'all who understand what I'm saying, understand what I'm saying. Sometimes we kind of like, we call people out, but we don't call the specific stereotype of people out. So sometimes those types of people like leach out, kind of like you trying to contain this contaminant in the water, but because we ain't specifying what the actual contaminant is, a little bit of it kind of like leach out into the water and affect people that it shouldn't affect. But we actually need to be calling them motherfuckers out unapologetically, and I feel like we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel.
And there are men and women who care only for your well-being and safety. We want you to succeed and flourish. To all the women and children, I'm sorry you live in a world where you're not protected and you don't feel equal. I want to raise my daughters in a world where they are safe.
This is a good example. I just thought of it. Like, we'll get on people like Diddy, but we won't call out the uncles and people who actually be doing the weird stuff behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we calling people out, but we don't want to point fingers until like we got like evidence. But no, if motherfuckers doing wrong shit, we need to call them out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Safe and loved. To the abusers, you're done. You're not safe anymore. You're not protected anymore. The men by your side are just as weak. You're so miserable with yourself that death would be considered a kindness.
Damn.
Some netizens think that Diddy should have seen this coming because Cassie told him in a song exactly what she planned on doing. In her song, Love a Loser, which she states she helped write, the lyrics read, "I'd rather lose a lover than love a loser. Everything you did, I couldn't do it to you. Got my vision clear, so now I'm seeing through you. Writing you a letter, I'm gonna send it to you." Which she did. The letter just happened to be in the form of a lawsuit that would end his career.
Damn.
Because shortly after Cassie, 10 other victims have filed lawsuits against Diddy, which we will cover in depth in the next episode. Those are the lawsuits that have already been filed. There is an attorney in Texas named Tony Busby who states there's a lot more coming, perhaps 120 more. Out of the 120
Why do all lawyers just look like scumbags to me?
accusers he is representing and working with, Tony says 60 of them are men, 60 of them are women, and 25 of them were minors when the alleged abuse took place. Tony states that one of the abused was even as young as 9 years old when he was allegedly abused by Diddy. The individuals that are being repped by Tony Busby, he states, come from 25 different states, majority from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida. He alleges that many of the alleged abuse took place at auditions where, quote, many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star. I want to focus on the ages of these victims. When we talk about the ages of these victims, when the conduct occurred, it is shocking. He states, this should have never been allowed to go on for so long. This conduct has created a mass of individuals who are injured, scared, and scarred. He states that he has set up a hotline for any victims of Diddy to call. They have received over 12,000 calls in just 24 hours.
What?
He states ominously, I have no...
Bro, what? 12,000? I want y'all to think about that. They set up a hotline for anybody who done went through some shit with Diddy. They got 12,000 calls. Some of those might have been trolls, but even if 10% of those wasn't trolls, Jesus Christ, that's a lot, bro. What the fuck was Diddy doing, bro? And how did he not think this was gonna come to light?
No doubt that there are people right now who know that they were somehow involved in this, who are now scrubbing their social media, who are searching their memories, who are deleting their texts, probably deleting pictures and trying to distance themselves from this. And we know who they are, or we will find out who they are. This is not something that's going to happen overnight, but I think we are at the tip of the iceberg. That I think we can agree with. This is the tip of the iceberg. And this is part 1. Part 2 will be up soon. In that episode, we will be going in depth on the other 11 lawsuits, as well as in depth on the one lawsuit against his son, which is about what happened at a Diddy yacht party and the very, very strange death of the mother of his children, Kim Porter, and the very controversial book that claims to be her diary entries before her death. And that book seems to implicate Diddy as having a much larger role in her death. So stay tuned for that, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.